What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another blazing Naruto story. What if Konoha regrets banishing Naruto? If you enjoy then please like, share, and do comments. Naruto Uzumaki, you are hereby banished from Konoha for hurting one of the last two remaining members of the Uchiha in Konoha. Danzo said Naruto could not believe his ears, they were blaming all this on him. What? I didn't attack that team. He attacked me first and I just defended myself, Naruto yelled. Be quit or we will have you executed, demon, Koharu yelled, making Naruto shut up. Now that we have you quit, Demon Kakashi, would you like to explain what happened when you got to the Valley of the End? Hamura asked. Kakashi nodded his head as H went up to testify. Now tell us. What was the demon's attitude during its time on your team? Hamura questioned. During our time on Team 7, Naruto would not do any work. He would just lay around and have his other two teammates do all of the work. He would constantly pick fights with Sasuke. Kakashi said as Naruto had a look of betrayal on his face. Sensei, Naruto thought, felling rage that his sensei would betray him like this. You may step down, Kakashi. Koharu said as Kakashi stepped down, not even sending Naruto a glance. What do you have to say for yourself, demon? Koharu asked. I can't believe this damn trial is even happening. Ba-chan, Kasen, Aro, Senin, do something, Naruto said as all three of them looked at him with hatred in their eyes. You are not my son, you damn demon, Kushina exclaimed. You killed my son, demon. I knew I should have finished what Minato started years ago, Tsunade yelled. You killed my student, I don't even know why I took you as my other disciple, Jiraiya exclaims. I say we take a vote, anybody who wants the demon out of Konoha raise your hand. Tsunade asked, everybody raised their hand. Even Minato, two other students, Rin and Abaito. It's official, demon, you have till midnight tonight to pack everything you have and leave Konoha, Tsunade said as she gets up and yanks Naruto Hidat off him before viciously backhanding him in front of the council. Then she asked if Tsum wanted some for what he did to her son at the Chunin exams. Her grin gets bigger as she runs up to him and backhands him. After that, they leave with satisfied grins. Later that night, as Naruto leaves, he can hear his comrades from Rookie 9 taunting him. Haha, look, the demon is leaving, said Sakura. Begone from Konoha, you unyouthful demon, said Lei. Gyo Dai, you demon, said Naruko, Naruto's sister. Gyo Dai in hell, demon, Ino said. My mom and sister were right, you are a demon. I am glad she bitch slapped you in front of the council, Kiba said. Troublesome demon, Shikamaru. As everybody was throwing insults like this, Naruto had his head down and was walking to his apartment to get his stuff ready, unaware of a pair of eyes watching him. Meanwhile, I can't believe they would banish Naruto like that, Tenten said to Hinata and Anko. I think we should go with him, Anko suggested, shocking both of them. Hinata quickly nods her head positive. I agree, my father banished me from the Hyuga clan right after he came back from the council meeting, saying that a weak girl does not deserve to be in the Hyuga clan. They didn't get the chance to put the caged bird seal on me because he said, a weak Byakugan doesn't even need sealing. I will come also. They both turn to Tenten and Tenten says, Sure, I am an orphan of war anyway, it wouldn't be so bad, Tenten said. Hinata and Anko nodded their heads. Anko then says, Okay, here is the plane. Naruto should be at his apartment by now trying to get his things ready. Hinata, Tenten, both of you sneak into your homes and pack your bags. I will explain everything to him, okay? Both girls said quietly, yes ma'am. Okay, hurry. Anko assures, with both girls yelling right before they went their way. Okay, all I have to do is explain everything to him, Anko thought as she rushes to intercept Naruto. She finds Naruto about to exit the village and yell, wait. Naruto stops and turns around to see Anko Mitarashi. He then says, What, here to call me demon and wish for my death too? Naruto accused. No, Anko yells before explaining everything that the girls, her, Hinata and Tenten were going to do. To say that Naruto was surprised was an understatement. He was shocked that they would do that for him. Hey, look sharp, here they come, Anko said as Hinata and Tenten came. Naruto asked them, are you sure you all want to come with me? Naruto asked. They look at him before saying, Naruto, we are positive we want to go with you, said Anko. Naruto nods his head and says, All right, let's go. Anko, Tenten, and Hinata yelled right as they left through the night. In the council room the next day, Every clan head was in the council chamber with their heirs and their sensei, except for Kurenai and Albedo and Rin Arus having a party. With a big banner that said the demon is gone, while they were having a good time. They were talking amongst each other. I am Gal, that demon is gone, said Tsum with a cheer. From the other council members, you can say that again, she heard others say. Kushina then said, I propose a toast for finally getting that demon out of Konoha. As they did this, they could feel an enormous amount of killer intent coming out of the Hawkage officer. As the doors to the council chamber opened, they heard someone say, How dare you banish my son for completing a mission? As they looked at the door, they were shocked to see who it was. It was one pissed of Minato Namikaze. Minato-sensei, Kakashi, Albedo, and Rin said together. Honey, Kushina said. Tusen Naruko said. The rest said Yandame Sama. As Minato barged in the room, his killer intent was flaring dangerously high. As he stands there, he shouts out in a fit of rage, Why is it that I find that you people have banished my son? There was shock in the room. They banished his son, his legacy. One stupid council member tells him. But Yandame Sama, surely you must be making a joke. There is no way that demon is your son, said the councilman. He soon regretted saying that after a three-pronged kunai was shoved into his head and through his brain. He then looks towards the council and asked, Does anybody else want to make another comment like that? They immediately shook their heads no. He then turns his head towards Kushina and yells, Kushina, what the hell is wrong with you? He asked. She then replies saying that he sealed the nine-tailed fox inside of Naruto. So what? Minato barked. You think that just because I sealed the Kyuubi inside of him that makes him a demon? Kushina. Minato then glares at his students and yells, And UKAKSHI, what is your problem? UTAUGTHSAUKEUCHIA, a lethal JUSTU that could have ended NARUTO life. KAKSHI, you taught SAUKE the CHIDORI, which I specifically said don't use anymore because of the chances of not seeing the counterattack. Kakashi didn't say anything and just looked at the ground. Minato then looked Jiraiya and Tsunade. And you too, both of you knew that NARUTO was your grandchild. You just used those words as an excuse to SHURKE off your duties. Both the Sanins looked at the ground, not able to look at Minato. With Naruto, Hinata, Anko, and Tenten. I can't believe it. After everything I have done for them, they banish me. Well, what do you aspect, Kit? Those damn NINGNS were foolish anyway. Now we can start a new life away from that damn VILLAGND, away from those ignorant FOOLs. After everything I've done for them, well, you know what, fuck them. I don't need those ignorant fools anymore. But I still want to be a part of a ninja village. Well, Kit, there is one person I know that could help us. Really, who is that? Kyuubi smirked seductively. Remember, she's a female in this one, and she is in the harem. Well, Kit, his name is Xemnas. He was an old friend of mine and is the cage of Twilight Village. Really, where can I find him? He asked. Xemnas will be sending someone to pick us up, Kyuubi concluded. Naruto asked when this person will be coming. Probably tomorrow, Naruto-kun. Xemnas says this person is really fast. Okay, Kaiju-chan, Naruto said, not noticing the blush Kyuubi got. Back with the council meeting. The council chamber was shocked. They had lost another ninja that had the Mokuton in him. A more stupid council member then exclaimed, It does not matter, he was nothing but a dropout at the academy anyway. At this statement, Minato laughed out loud and then said, Dropout, you think he is a dropout? Then why don't you read this little black book I have found in Sarutobi office? He said as he threw it at the council table. Jiraiya picks it up and reads it. He immediately took a paled look when he was finished reading it. He then exclaims, You mean to tell me he has BNN training WOTHSARUTOBI since he was 7 years old? At this there gasps and shocks in the council. That's right, Jiraiya, Minato said. Then he looks at Tsunade and says, I want to see Naruto medical records. Tsunade says, Minato, I can't show Naruto records. Minato, give me the damn records. Tsunade, Sochi. Minato, don't call me your damn Sochi. Now give me the fucking records. Tsunade, sighs, wait here. Here exits the room and a minute later come back with a huge file. This is Naruto medical record. Minato pushed her out of the way and then began to read the reports he immediately gets pissed of. October 10, Naruto birthday, he was strapped to a tree while adults used him as target practice. He then checked another file. October 10, Naruto was being attacked by a mob, suffered 3 broken ribs, both his arms were broken, cheekbone was damaged, and a fractured skull. He then looks at Inacha and exclaims, "Inacha, you know a jutsu that lets me see another person's memories right." At this, Inacha nodded. "Then let me see the memories of the council meeting during Naruto trial." Inok reluctantly complies. Inochi went through some hand signs and yelled memory transplant jutsu. After that, they both went limp. A minute later, Minato is awake and lets a shitload of killer intent out. Then he all of a sudden make a shadow clone and has the shadow clone Shushin next to Tsume and decks her square in the face. The real Minato then Shushins next to Tsunade and decks her in the face. Minato then yells AMBU, at least 20 Ambu come out of nowhere. He then yells, "Take these traitors to their homes. Tomorrow everybody in this room will be going on a trip with me to find Naruto. We leave at 12:00 o'clock tomorrow. Anybody who does not show up will be executed. Get out of my sight." The Ambu take them back to their homes. What one more thing, Minato says. They turn to him and he says, "Suman Yuzuka, Hayashi Hyuga, Inachi Yamanaka, and Jack Haruno, the marriage contracts between your daughters and my son. I should rip up those contracts, but I will let my son decide that." And with that, they all left. As Naruto was trying to get to sleep, he noticed that the other girls were already asleep. He began to wonder and think to himself, if I can't get those damn villagers and that damn council to see that I am not the Kyuubi, then what was I fighting for in the first place? Naruto thought as he felt a strange sensation in his heart. It felt dark and disturbing, and for some he felt like he was changing. Oh well, I will worry about this later. Naruto thought as he went to bed, unaware that this sensation would change his life forever. Konoha. Minato looked at the group in his office. Every shinobi from the council meeting was there, every clan head, everyone from the Konoha 12 was there except for Hinata and Tenten. His wife and daughter was there along with his 3 students. For some reason Koharu, Hamaru, and Danzo was tagging along as well. "Alright, I think we all know what we have to do. We have to go find Naruto and bring him back to Konoha," Minato said. Sakura, however, asked, "Yaundame-sama, shouldn't we wait until Hinata and Tenten come here as well?" Sakura asked, not knowing what happened last night. "That's what I wanted to discuss with you all. I found this note when I was looking at Enko apartment," Minato said as he handed the note to Sakura as she yelled out loud, "Dear Hokage-sama, I regret to inform you that Hinata, Tenten, and myself have joined Naruto in exile. We cannot stand by while an honorable shinobi like him gets exiled for some bullshit excuse. So me and the girls will be joining him in exile. Signed, Enko Mitarashi." "Then they are traitors of Konoha. We must detain them the minute we see them," Danzo exclaimed. "No, we will not attack them if not needed. We will only use force if needed. Do I make myself clear, Danzo?" Minato exclaimed, getting a glare from Danzo. "Yes, Hokage-sama," Danzo says reluctantly. "Alright, let's move," Minato yells, getting a sharp yes sir from the rest of the group. As they moved, the group had several thoughts going in their heads. "I must get that boy into my root division," Danzo thought. "I have to convince Naruto to marry Hana," Tsume thought. "If Hinata is with him, then I have to get Hinata back into the clan," Hayashi thought. "I have to get Ino to marry Naruto and get him into my clan, Inachi, though. I have to get my baby back," Kushina thought. "Aniki, I will get you back," Naruko thought. "I wonder if I could get Naruto to go out with me." No, Sakura and Ino thought. "I have to apologize to Naruto," Tsunade thought. "Naruto, if I see you my grandson, I will teach you everything I know," Jirya thought. "I have to get my son back," Minato thought. With Naruto. As Naruto woke up, he could still feel the stinging sensation from Tsunade and Tsume's slap. He started to tear up at the fact that after everything he did for Konoha, they still didn't give a damn about him. "Kid, are you alright?" Kyuubi asked. "Yeah, I'll be fine," Naruto said. "Kid, I know a way that will let me out of the seal without killing you," Kyuubi said. "Remember when Sarutobi taught you about sealing?" Kyuubi asked. Flashback. A 7-year-old Naruto was listening to Sarutobi as he began lecturing about sealing. "Now Naruto, sealing is an important factor in the ninja world," Sarutobi explained. "Hey old man, is there a way to unseal any type of seal?" Naruto asked. Sarutobi smiled and said, "Why yes, Naruto. Just do these seals, dog, ram, ox, rat, and tiger." As Sarutobi did this, a seal around the silencing seal on the door deactivated. Sarutobi then said, "Okay, Naruto, lessons are over. Come back tomorrow," Sarutobi said as Naruto smiled and said, "Okay, old man, see you tomorrow," Naruto said as he left the room. End of flashback. "Yeah, I remember that lesson," Naruto said. "Okay, now come into the cage and do the process," Kyuubi said. Naruto nods his head and says, "Okay, it'll be right there," Naruto said as he goes into his mindscape. Mindscape. Naruto arrives in his mindscape. He walks around until he comes to the gates and sees Kyuubi. What really shocked him was that she was a female. "What, are you really that surprised?" Kyuubi asked with a smirk. "Look, let's just do the process, okay?" Naruto asked, trying to hold back a blush. "Whatever you say, Naruto-kun," Kyuubi said, making Naruto's blush even more noticeable. "All right," Naruto said as he went through the seal before saying, "Release," Naruto said as he let out a yell outside the mindscape. The girls were startled when Naruto let out an inhuman roar. Anko asked, "Naruto, are you okay?" Anko asked worriedly. Her only response was Naruto roar. "H-A-" Naruto yelled as red chakra began to take a form around him and explode, causing a dust storm. As the dust decapitated, the group was shocked to find a red head around the age of 14 standing beside Naruto. She had a beautiful body, curves in the right place, big assets around D cups. She was dressed in a blood-red tank top with crimson pant on. She was also wearing a blood-red trench coat. She saw Naruto staring at her. She smirked and said, "Like what you see." Kyuubi said with a smirk. Naruto blushed. "All right, I'll leave you alone. Come on, we have to get moving," Kyuubi said, receiving a loud "Yes, ma'am," the group yelled before leaving in a shushin with the Konoha group. Kushina decided to ask the question that everybody was wondering. "Minato-kun, how are you still alive?" Kushina asked. Minato glared at her but answered her question. "Remember the invasion of Konoha? Well, Orochimaru tried to summon all 3 Kage of Konoha but failed to do so, so he only summoned the first and the second. My coffin was ent back to Orochimaru base. After that, I woke up and broke out of the base with no memory of who I was. After traveling for about a month, someone tried to mug me. They hit me over the head with a beer bottle. After that, I remembered everything that happened to me. I quickly killed the man and tried to activate my bloodline. This shocked everybody. The Yondaime had a blood limit. You all are probably wondering what I mean. Alright, let me explain. Long ago, when the Namikaze family were still small, my great-grandfather stumbled upon a flying thunder bird being attacked by bandits. He acted quickly and used a fire jutsu on the bandits and killed them. The bird thanked my great-grandfather by giving him a special power, the ability to warp at any place at any time. Also gave him a Daojutsu Kamen. I utilized this ability to its full potential by creating MT Technique, the Flying Thunder God. So the Flying Thunder God Jutsu is actual a blood limit granted by this bird. If that's true, then shouldn't Naruto be able to use it as well? No, Naruto doesn't have the chakra reserves for it. Only someone who was born with Jonin chakra reserves could use it. In other words, Naruto, Koharu said. Exactly, he also has the ability to grow yellow and black spiked wings, use the Hurricane and the Kamen. Minato said. If that's true, then we must get Naruto into my root division. Danzo said, only to get a harsh glare from Minato. You will not do such a thing, Danzo. If I catch wind that you are planning to do that once we get back to Konoha, I'll kill you myself. Is that clear? Minato yelled. Yes, Yondaime-sama, Danzo said reluctantly. All right, now let's move, Minato said with them speeding up, with Naruto. Hey Kaiju-chan, I think I see someone up ahead, Naruto said as they went through the forest. Kyuubi looked up ahead to see that the girl Haku and the sound girl Tayuya were the ones. Kyuubi landed next to them and checked their pulse. Kyuubi took on a panicked look and yelled, "They have a very high fever. We have to get them to a cave and heal them there." Kyuubi yelled, getting nods from Naruto and the girls. They search for a cave when they come across one. Quickly get in, Kyuubi assured. They all run in the cave. Hinata quickly took out a towel she had brought with her and wet it with water she brought with her. She wet the towels and put them on both Haku and Teuya. What now? Hinata asked. We what was Kyuubi only response, 1 hour later. Haku and Teuya began to stir awake and looked at their surroundings, and saw Naruto and the girls with him. So you're awake? Naruto asked said with Haku and Teuya getting a nod from her. Alright then you two can come with use if you want, seeing as you two have nowhere to go and I am sure you don't want to go back to Orochimaru. Kyuubi getting a nod from Teuya. Hey Kaiju-chan, when is this person you said this Zemna's is sending coming? Naruto asked. In right about now, Kyuubi exclaimed. As if by magic this person blurred out of nowhere. She had on a black cloak with black high heels and a black zip-up coat. Are you the person Zemna's said he would be sending? Naruto asked as the figure turned to him and removed her hood. Naruto gazed at her beauty. She had deep blue eyes with navy blue messy hair and a caramel complexion. She smiled to Naruto and said her name. Kshin, the now identified Kshin said, you all must be the new recruits Zemna's told me about. Kshin asked with getting nods from everybody else. Then she turned her head to Naruto and asked. I know I might bring up bad memories if I ask this, but I must know, what did you do to cause the village to hate you so much? Kshin asked, making Naruto turn away from her. She immediately tried to apologize, but Naruto said, no, it's okay. If I am going to get past this, then I can't keep secrets from you. The reason why is that. Wait, Naruto, I know you're trying to forget that meeting, so I'll show it to her with a technique I inquired over the years. Kyuubi said as she went through a series of hand signs before yelling ninja art, memory transplant jutsu. She yelled as she and Kshin went limp. The next minute she woke up and looked at Kshin and was surprised at her reaction. Kshin had tears running down her face and her hand was over her mouth covering from shock at what she saw. Kyuubi looked at her before realizing that she might have showed her memories of Naruto mob attacks. She quickly told Naruto what she might have done. His only response was, it doesn't matter. She would have to find out sooner or later, Naruto said as Kshin ran up to him and hugged him. Naruto, I am so sorry, I didn't know. Kshin tried to explain, but Naruto cut her off. Don't be sorry, I wasn't your fault, Naruto said as Kshin tries to touch his face. Naruto feels her hands on his face and quickly turns his head the other way. Don't worry, I am not going to hurt you, Kshin said as she touched his face and says Kuraga. As she did this, Naruto wound from the smakes he got were healed. Thank you, Naruto says as he turns his head the other way trying to hide a blush. Kshin Anil smiles to this and says, okay, we have to start moving if we want to get to Zemna's. Right as they start to leave they hear a loud halt. They turn their head to see the Konoha group. Naruto angrily yells, what do you want? Well folks, that's it for this chapter. The fight scene next chapter will be a little better than the one in my old one. So review, leave a commit. No, I know you guys might not like me adding Shizune, but with her in the harem it will mean more bashing for Tsunade. Blazing blade out. As Naruto gazed at the group in front of him, the strange dark sensation suddenly came back. It felt like it was trying to take over. He quickly dismissed that thought and angrily yelled, what do you want? Naruto said as he let out a shitload of killer intent, and for some reason a dark aura was staring to surround him. Everybody in the vicinity was scared of him now, except for Kshin, who looked at him surprising and thought, I haven't felt this much dark power since Riku. Could he be able to use dark powers like Riku too? Kshin thought as she saw the darkness emitting from Naruto. Naruto, we have come to take you back to Konoha, Minato said as he gazed at the power his son was emitting. Why would I go back to that shithole of a village? Naruto yelled, feeling the dark aura around him increase. Naruto, please come back to the village. I am sorry for the way I treated you there. I am sorry for banishing you from the Uzumaki clan. You see, Naruto, after I went home to the clan by your father last night, the Uzumaki clan had a meeting. Flashback. It was late and Kushina and Naruto just wanted to get to bed, but the clan council had called a meeting. Kushina, why did you go to the council meeting earlier? Kushina mother Jessie Uzumaki. More like demanded. The council meeting was actual a party about for how the demon of Konoha was banished. Everybody in the council room smirked, happy that the disgrace of the clan was gone, but then Minato-kun came back. Now this shocked everybody. The Yandame had returned. Kushina then explained everything that happened at the council meeting, to say that the Uzumaki clan was shocked. The disgrace of the clan was actual trained by the Sandaime himself. Then we must get this boy back into the clan. Now that we know that he has been training with Sarutobi, if we get him back into the clan, we may be able to get some of the secrets Sarutobi has. Jack Uzumaki, Kushina's father said, he's not going to come back willingly, Kushina said sadly. Her father just snorted and said, then we will force him back into the clan. If what you say is true, then we need the son of the Yondame and the disciple of the Saindame in this clan. Jack said. End of flashback, and that's what happened Naruto. Please come back with your family, Kushina pleaded. Haha, Naruto chuckled before. Oh, so the Uzumaki clan is still too stubborn to put a child before themselves, huh? Naruto said. Sochi, Kushina started before being interrupted by Naruto. Silence, you have no right to try to make me go back to that clan full of arrogant pricks. Naruto yelled, shutting Kushina up. Regardless, Naruto, I have to take you back to Konoha, Minato said, earning a glare from Naruto. Give me one good reason why I should go back to the village, Naruto said. He then earned a smile from Minato. Well, Naruto, since you're my son, you will automatically fall under the CRA, Minato said, hoping that Naruto would take the CRA. I have a bloodline, Naruto said, earning a smile from Minato. Then explained everything, his abilities, his bloodline, his Kaminarigan. Naruto then asked, if I am your son, then why can't you have kids instead of me to pass it down? Naruto asked. Well, Naruto, you see, before I went back to Konoha, I had to get a checkup with the doctor. He told me that since I came back to life by Orochimaru Edo Tensei, I can't pass it down. I could have kids and I could still use it, but they won't have my bloodline. Is that what Naruto is to you all? Just breeding material, Kshin intervened. The Konoha group glared at Kshin as she just glared back. This a Konoha matter, this has nothing to do with you, girl. Hamura said as Koharu continued for him, this is none of your business, so stay out of it. Koharu said, earing a snort from Kshin. This became my business the minute the Hakume Cage told me to come get this group, Kshin said, making the older nins gasp. Kshin continued. I may have only known Naruto for a short time, but it'll be damned if I let him go back to that village full of nothing but a bunch of bagot fools. Kshin exclaimed as she let her killer intent flare out of control. Naruto, I don't want to have to take you by force, but if you force me, I will have no choice, Minato said as he got into a fighting stance. Bring it, Naruto said as he got into a fighting stance. Minato leapt at Naruto and tried to make a one-hit KO by punching him in his pressure point, but Naruto quickly moved to the left and right, hooked Minato in the face, sending him straight into a nearby tree. Minato soon stepped out and charged up a Rasengan. As he did this, Naruto charged up a Rasengan as well, and they both yelled, Rasengan. Minato yelled, Rasengan. Naruto yelled. As the two attacks collide, Naruto felt that strange sensation powering up his Rasengan. As he added this power to his Rasengan, he yelled, Dark Rasengan. Naruto yelled as his Rasengan turned jet black. Minato was blown away by THS Rasengan and was thrown into a nearby tree. Wood-style, wooden log stranglehold judo. The judo name spoke for itself as Wooden appeared out of the grund and put everybody into a stranglehold. We will be leaving now, Naruto said. What, you can't leave yet, not without breeding a child for the village, Danzo yelled. Danzo, I thought I said to not provoethem, Minato screamed. You're nothing but a FAILED project that I wanted turn into a weapon, but that damn Sarutobi was too foolish, Dance said manically. Naruto didn't say a word for a minute, but all of a sudden a dark evil aura surrounded him as he screamed in pain. To make the fight scene better, go to YouTube and look up the song Those Who Accept the Protection of the Stars from Final Fantasy Crisis Core and listen to it while you're reading. Naruto yelled as the darkness took its shape. Kshin immediately knew what was happening and yelled, Naruto, don't give in to the darkness. You're not a failed project, you're a human being. Zan cried desperately, but her cry fell on deaf ears as Naruto kept in screaming. Nara kept seeming as the power surge started to take shape and cause a dust storm. Damn it. Kshin yelled as she tried to intercept Naruto. Boo, the dust cloud interfered her. As the dust calmed down, everybody was shocked at what they saw. Naruto was now all entire body looked like they were made out of darkness. The only feature you could really see was his cold yellow eyes. Everybody stay clear from him. Naruto is not himself right now and will attack anybody, friend or foe. I will deal with him, Kshin said as she summoned Oblivion in her hand. The shadow Naruto turned its head to Kshin and immediately rushed at her with a swipe of his claw. Kshin quickly dodged it and sang her keyblade at Naruto and hit him dead in the center of his chest. Naruto jumped back in pain as he was hit. Kshin quickly took this chance and yelled Firaga as a ball of fire appeared in his hand and hit Naruto in the same spot. Then she yelled Thunderga as a large amount of electricity was formed in her hand and was shot at the same spot. Naruto hit the floor with a loud thud. As he was losing consciousness, Kshin ran to him and put her hand over the spot he was hit at and said Kyuraga. As her hand was glowing and healed Naruto's wound, Naruto woke up and said a soft thank you to Kshin. Kshin smiles and helps him stand. Naruto then said, "Come on, we have to get moving." Naruto said with Danzo yelling. "Stop, you can't leave yet," Danzo yelled with Naruto saying in response. "Watch me," Naruto said as was about to leave until Minato interrupted him. "Naruto, when will you come back to the village?" Minato asked. "In 5 years during the next Jonin exams," and with Naruto left in a blur. "Naruto, grow strong, my son," Minato thought as he saw his son leave out of sight. With the group, Naruto, Kshin, Enko, Hinata, Teuya, Haku, Tenten, and Kyuubi were on their way to the village hidden in the twilight when they arrived at the gates. The guards let them go without a hassle. "Come on, I'll take you all to the Hakume cage," Kshin said as she guided the group to the palace. They went through the first floor till they were at the top. At the top was a figure dressed in a yin-yang cloak. He had dark silver. "So these are the shinobi that wish to joining the Twilight Village?" Xemnas asked. "Yes, Sir," Kshin said loudly. Xemnas smiled and thought, this should be interesting, he thought. "Okay, Kshin, take our guests to their rooms," Xemnas said with Kshin grabbing Naruto's arm and guiding him to the rooms while the girls followed. "Okay, Naruto, this is your room," Kshin said as the room looked like a light gray color. Naruto said thank you to Kshin, who only smiled and left to show the other girls their room. 5 years, huh? Naruto thought as he tried to get some sleep before he got up to start training. Year 1. Naruto and the gang was heading for the Hakume Cage's office. He was a little nervous since this was his first time meeting the Hakume Cage face to face. They entered the office and saw the Cage sitting in his eat with his yin-yang robes. He looked up at the group and smiled. "Welcome all of you to my village. I feel that I didn't introduce myself properly. I am Xemnas, the Hakume Cage," Xemnas said as he extended his hand to meet Naruto. Naruto shakes his hand with a smile and says, "It's a pleasure to be here, Hakume Cage-sama," Naruto said as he lets go of his hand and shaked Xemnas' hand. "Now Kshin told me that you used a strange dark power while attacking the 4th Hokage, right?" Xemnas asked with Naruto nodding at him. Xemnas smiled and said, "Okay, Naruto, then I want you and your friends to report to the Twilight Training Ground 34 tomorrow morning. I am going to have some of my genins train with all of you at one area," Xemnas said with the group nodding and leaving the room getting to bed. The next day, Naruto exits his room with his gear on. He now wore the Organization 13 clothing. He wore a all-black combat pants with an all-black tank top shirt with black combat boots and a black zipper coat. As he exited the building, he saw that Hinata, Haku, Teuya, Tenten, and Kyuubi were wearing the same thing, only they wore high heels. "Okay, girls, you ready to go?" Naruto asked with the girls nodding their heads yes. "All right, let's get moving," Naruto said as he left along with the girls. Training Ground 34. "Kshin, are you sure the boy is the real deal?" Riku asked, not believing that this boy could use darkness. "Yes, Riku, Naruto could use darkness. I had to battle him myself when the darkness almost took him over," Kshin said as Riku's eyes widened with surprise. "Look, here he comes now," Kshin said as Naruto and the group came into view. The females in the area blushed when they looked at him. Naruto saw Kshin yell at him. He smiled and said, "Exile," Naruto said her name in response as he ran over to her. "Hey Naruto, so how was your night?" "I expect it was excellent," Kshin said cheerfully. Naruto smiles and says, "Of course, this place is great," Naruto exclaims, getting a blush from Kshin. "Hey, don't keep him all to yourself." Hinata yelled. Kshin looked at her and said, Don't worry, I know he has to practice polygamy, so I don't mind sharing him. Shin said as all of the girls in the group had a blush on their face, including Naruto. Exile and Naruto yelled out of embarrassment. Just as he was about to continue his rant, the one with long silver hair looked at Naruto and said, "Hey, Shin told me that you could use darkness, is that true?" Riku asked. Naruto nodded his head. With that, Riku looked at Naruto and said, "All right then, my name's Riku. I am going to be one of your new sensei," Riku said with Naruto smiling and nodding his head. Riku then summons his way to Dawn Keyblade and said, "Okay, everybody back up. I want to see just how powerful this boy's darkness is." Riku said as everybody backed up from the area. Everybody in the area backed up a good distance. Riku launched at Naruto with his Keyblade at hand. Naruto quickly took out two Kana and clashed with Riku Keyblade. Both their blades looked, but Riku earlier overpowers Naruto's weapons and one of his Kana was wiped out of his hand. Riku seeing this then makes a swift move at Naruto's abdomen. It hits right at the center. Naruto is knocked to the ground. Riku quickly tries to make another swipe at his abdomen only for Naruto to block his attack with his Kana at hand. Naruto then kicks Riku in his abdomen and KNCKS him into a tree. Naruto gets up and feels a strong determination to defeat his new sensei. Suddenly his kunai surrounded by light and a sword appeared in its place. Shin and the rest in the area was surprised when the light vanished. It was the two across Keyblade. Naruto used the Keyblade. Shin yelled after getting over the shock of seeing him summon a Keyblade. Naruto hearing this then charged at Riku and clashes his Keyblade with his. As their Keyblades were clashing, Naruto used a dark energy ball and launched it at Riku and hit him. Riku was hit dead center in his chest. Naruto chased after him and let loose a series of slashes with his Keyblade, each hitting Riku. Naruto used the dark energy in him and added it to his Rasengan. He went after Riku and yelled, "Dark style Rasengan." Naruto yelled as Riku was hit and was knocked into the ground. Naruto landed on the Naruto ground, fainted. The last thing he remembered before fainting was the girls in the area yelling out his name. The next day, Naruto wakes up to see a familiar white ceiling of the hospital. He looks around and sees Xemnas looking at him and asked, "How long was I out?" Naruto asked. Xemnas looks at him and said, "3 days," was Xemnas' reply. He would have continued, but the people from the training ground barged in the room. Naruto looked at everybody and said the one thing that came to mind. "Hi," was Naruto start off. "They don't feel like they have properly introduced themselves." Xemnas explained. "Hi, I'm Rinoa," heartily. Rinoa introduced herself. She was wearing tight black biker shorts with black shoes. She was wearing a long sleeveless blue hue rib knit sweater, with rib knit blue are warmers with a blue button-up skirt and a black ribbon on her left arm. She had black hair with bits of brown in them with chocolate brown eyes. By her side was a dog. "I'm Squall Leonhardt. I am one of your other sensei." Squall introduced I am self. He was wearing a leather jacket with a white tank top under it. He wore black pants with 3 belts connected to it. "Hi, I am Tifa Lockhart," Tifa said. She was wearing black shorts with a black short zip-up shirt. Underneath that was a wit t-shirt and black boots. Tifa's Advent children costume. "I am Yuffie Kasaragi," Yuffie said. She was wearing a navy blue tank top with a wit Hawaiian flowered tattoo design underneath a sleeveless dark gray vest. It stopped below her rib cage. She wore khaki shorts that looked really tight. She had a large Fuma shuriken on her back. "I am Aerith Gainsborough." She wore a pink dress with thick braided ponytails in her hair. She carried a staff on her back. "I am Cloud Strife," Cloud said, wearing his Advent cloths. "Hey, I am Roxas," Roxas said as he was wearing the same thing as Naruto. "Hey cutie, I am Larxene," Larxene said, causing Naruto to blush. "All right, everybody, let's give Naruto his rest. The doctor said that he will be better tomorrow," Xemnas said as everybody left the room. Naruto looked at the ceiling and said, "Well, this is just the start," Naruto said as he drifted to sleep. In Konoha. "This is an outrage," one of the council men said, getting nods and yells from other people in the room. "We can't let Naruto become a Twilight shinobi. He belongs in Konoha." Another council man said, getting nods from the others. "And whose fault was that? I told you all to respect my last wish. Now look what happened," Minato said. "Yaundame-sama, I have a solution." Tsume said. Minato looked at her for a minute before saying, "I'm listening." Minato said, "What if we keep the arranged marriages contracts we made and have one of our ninja go to Twilight Village and give the Hakume Cage the contracts? Surely he will be able to get Naruto to sign the contracts. Once he does, Naruto will be binded to Konoha," Tsume said. "And with Hinata with him, I will be able to have some sort of influence over her," Hayashi said while thinking of ways he could manipulate Hinata. "I don't want to do that, but if that's what will get my son back, then I have no other choice," Minato said as he nodded his head. "All right, Suman Yuzuka, Anacha Yamanaka, Jack Haruno, report to my office after this meeting," Minato said while the said people nodded their heads. Meanwhile, Naruto woke up and looked at the clock, said, 12:00. Naruto said as he looked at his bed and saw Kushin and Hinata on it laying next to him. He checked the rest of the room and saw the grill's room, the training ground, in chairs sleeping. He smiled and said, "All of them really do care for her," Naruto said with a tear going down his face, finally feeling that someone really did care for him. He felt the sensation in him again, only this time it was calmer, it felt peaceful, in the forest. Naruto was listening for swift movements in the forest. He kept on hearing the footprints, but could not pinpoint where they were coming from. He closed his eyes and concentrated. All of a sudden the movements got louder. He quickly turned to the right to see Squall with his gunblade in his hand getting ready to cut Naruto. He quickly took out his gunblade and clashed with Squall's. Their blades locked. Naruto quickly uses a dark energy ball and hits Squall in his arm. Squall jumps away and yells, "All right, Naruto, that's it for today," Squall said as he was exhausted from training with the blonde-haired powerhouse. Naruto smiled and said, "Okay, Squall-sensei," Naruto yelled. Over the past year, Naruto, Tent, Kyuubi, Haku, Hinata, and Teuya got themselves gunblades like Squall. The girls got them regular gunblades, but Naruto wanted his customized. His was bright yellow. He called it the Golden Angel. Squall trained them to use their blades in his style. "All right, Naruto, let's go see how the others are doing," Squall said with Naruto following behind. Meanwhile, "I can't believe the council is making me do this," Shizune said as she was going to Twilight Village, thinking of what the council said for her to do. Flashback. "Shizune, we of the council are ordering you to go to Twilight Village and give our demands to the Twilight Cage," one of the council men said to her. "What, are you crazy? If I go there, I might get killed there," Shizune shouted with only getting a harsh glare from Tsune, Jirya, and Kushina. "Shizune, you have no choice. Either you do this mission or I will demote back to Chunin personally and have you imprisoned for defying our orders," Tsune exclaims. Shizune looks at her and says, "Yes, Hokage-sama," Shizune says reluctantly as she exits the door. End of flashback. As Shizune made her way to the village gates, the guards gets in front of her and says, "Halt, state your name and business," the Gyurad says as Shizune pulls out her info card before ordering a random Chunin to take to her to the Hakume Cage. The Chunin nods his and takes Shizune to the yin-yang-dressed Cage's office. In the office, Zemnas was looking through the ranks, and the training session Naruto group was getting and thought, "Those kids will be the key to Twilight Village's future someday," Zemnas thought as he heard a knocking on his door. "Enter," Zemnas said as a Chunin came in the door with Shizune. "Hakume-sama, the woman from Konoha has a message for you," the Chunin said as he exits the room. Zemnas looks at Shizune and says, "All right, let me see it," Zemnas said, already feeling a headache coming. Shizune timidly hands the note to Zemnas, something that does not go unnoticed by him. He takes the letter and reads it. "Dear Hakume-sama, we of the Council of Konoha have come to a decision. We have decided to make arranged marriages to Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. The girls that he will be engaged to are Sakura Haruno, Hana and Yuzuka, Ino Yamanaka, and Kagome Uzumaki. Just to let you know, if Naruto is not to be married to these girls, then we demand that Naruto be returned to Konoha. If none of these conditions are met, then we will go to open war with Twilight. Make your choice." Konoha Council. "Those insignificant WORMS," Zemnas yelled as he smashed his hand on the desk, breaking it in half. He then taped his monitor and said to his secretary, "Get me Naruto in my office. Tell him it's an emergency," Zemnas said, still a little angry. 1 minute little Naruto appeared with the sound of whistle in the wind out of nowhere. Xemnas looks at him and asked. How did you do that? Xemnas asked. It's a wind shushin I invented. Just add your affinity to your shushin and you could teleport anywhere possible depending on what your affinity is. Naruto said, well, you're going to be mad, but read this. Xemnas said as he tossed the letter to Naruto. When Naruto was done reading it, his killer intent was near exploding. What the hell is this? Those BASTARDS expect me to just go back to that shithole just because they think Ilgio through with these marriages. Naruto yelled looking at Shizune but was surprised when he saw tears in her eyes. Naruto, please don't send me back there. I don't want to go back there. Please, I have already put my resignation paper on Tsunde's desk. Please don't let me go back there. Please, Shizune pleaded. Naruto looked at her for a minute, not sensing any evil contempt or any lie in her words, looked at Xemnas and said, you know she wasn't part of the people in that village that ridiculed me, Xemnas. I'm sure we could put her in as a Twilight ninja, Naruto said while looking at Shizune. Xemnas nodded his head and said, all right, all I need you to do is swear your allegiance to me and I'll grant you citizenship as a Twilight ninja. Xemnas said with Shizune quickly nodding her head and swearing her loyalty to Xemnas and Twilight Nation. Xemnas nodded her head and looked in his drawer and took out a Twilight headband. The headband had no symbol, but rather the metal part was dark yellow. He handed the headband to Shizune. Shizune quickly thanked Xemnas and hugged Naruto while whispering, thank you, Naruto-kun, Shizune said quietly to Naruto, causing him to blush. She exited the building, going to a hotel to stay for the night. Xemnas then takes a piece of paper and a pen and wrote a note to Konoha. Dear pig fuckers of the Konoha. I will not give in to your fucked up demands. I would rather die than let you ugly assholes get one of my ninjas that you banished for no reason. So no, I will not give one of my shinobis to a fucked up village. Not only that, but you threatened one of your own shinobi with imprisonment just for not wanting to go on a mission. Well, just so you assholes know, Shizune asked if she could become a Twilight shinobi and we approved of her. So if you want to call war, I say bring it on. Signed, Xemnas, the Hakume Cage. And with that he sent a messaging hawk to Konoha. 1 week later. Naruto was heading to Xemnas' office. Over the week, Shizune had come to him and asked him if she could be in the harem. Naruto asked his other girls if they approved. Naturally, they all approved and welcomed her into the clan. As Naruto thought about what else he was up to this entire week, he bumped into the office door. Naruto opened to see that Kshin, Hinata, Tifa, and Cloud were there as well. Hey guys, what's all this about? Naruto asked, getting confused looks from everybody in the room. Alright, now that you all are here, I need you all to go on a mission for me. I need you all to battle and defeat Sephiroth of the Darkness. Xemnas said, getting surprised looks from Tifa, Cloud, and Kshin. Naruto then said, I've heard of him. Wasn't he supposed to be some legendary swordsman that was from the Twilight Nation? Naruto asked, getting a nod from Xemnas. Yes, he was one of the strongest ones ever to have come here, but this is why I have asked you all here. I want all of you to fight him, defeat him, and bring me back his sword. Xemnas said, getting a loud yes SIR from the group. Alright, everybody fan out. His last sighting was 100 miles west from Wave Country's perimeter. Xemnas said, with the group running out trying to catch up with Sephiroth. 3 hours later. We see our heroes running through the forest sensing for Sephiroth's chakra when all of a sudden, wait, IVE found HIM. Hinata said as she starts jumoing from tree to tree faster until they reach a small clearing. In the clearing was Sephiroth himself standing in the middle of the clearing with his Masamune in his hand. So you are the group that's been sent to try to kill me, huh? Sephiroth asked. Naruto gets into his stance with his gunblade hung over his shoulders and his hands in his pockets. Squall's stance, Hinata got into the same stance, Tifa in her fighting stance, and Cloud going into his stance. Kshin summoned her Oblivion Keyblade and puts it in both hands and brings up to her head, pointing at Sephiroth. Think of Sephiroth's stance in Crisis Core when he's about to fight Zack. Sephiroth gets into his stance by putting his sword over his head and both his hands on the hilt of the blade. Naruto launches at Sephiroth by clashing his gunblade with his. Naruto struggles to hold his Keyblade in place while Sephiroth keeps pushing back. Tifa then runs up and tries to run up to him and yells. Water kick, Tifa yelled as she did a slide and her feet was covered in water. Sephiroth quickly jumps up and kicks Naruto in the chest while yelling. Thunderga, Sephiroth yelled as he zapped Tifa, causing her to break of her attack. Cloud runs up to him and tries to swing at him with his sword, but Sephiroth deflects it and then stabs him in the arm. He falls back in pain. Shinin Hinata runs up to him and Hinata manages to close up 16 August chakra points with her 64 palms technique. Shin then yells, Firaga. Shin yells as fire engulfs her hand and launches it at Sephiroth. It makes its mark and hits Sephiroth, buttoning his hand. Naruto gets up and summons the two across Keyblade and looks at Shin and Hinata. All three of them nod their heads and run up to him while all three yelled, Event Harrizon. All three of them yelled while Sephiroth yelled, Octslash. As their blades clashed with each other, Sephiroth could not block all the slashes and had a lot of scars and scrapes on him with a lot of blood going down his body. Wind style, Rasengan. Naruto yelled as his Rasengan turned white while making a whistling. It hit Sephiroth right in the chest, destroying the entire area in his abdomen. When the jutsu was done, nothing was left of Sephiroth. Naruto then looks at the others and says, Mission accomplished, Naruto said as fell to the ground fainting. When he wakes up, he sees that he is being carried by Cloud while they make it back to Twilight Village. What happened? Naruto asked with Cloud looking at him while saying, You killed Sephiroth and fainted from using that Rasengan. Cloud said as they make it to the village gates, going straight to the Twilight Cage office. When they arrived, they saw Xemnas doing paperwork. He looks up and sees that Sephiroth's blade in Kshin hands. He then said, I take it the mission was a success. He said with the other nodding their heads yes. He smiles and says, Good job team, but here's the question, who going to keep the mass immune? Xemnas said with the other looking at each other. I already have the Buster Sword, Cloud said. Swords don't fit my style, Tifa said. I already have Oblivion, Kshin said. I am not well with using swords that long, Hinata said. Alright then, it's decided. Naruto, you will have the mass immune blade. Xemnas said with Naruto jumping in the air yelling. Why me? Naruto yelled with everybody laughing at his behavior. Alright everybody, Cobb, well done, get some rest. Xemnas said with the group exiting the room in Konoha. This is an outrage, how dare he send us this letter? One of the council man said, getting yells of approvement from others. Now that Shizune has turned traitor and went with Twilight, we can label her as a missing nin. Koharu said, mad that they couldn't get Naruto back into Konoha. No, we can't. She left resignation papers on my desk earlier. We can't put her in the bingo book. Tsunade said, angry that she lost yet another person that was part of her family. We can't do nothing now. We will just have to wait till they come back for the Jonin exams. Minato said with the others leaving the room. Back with Naruto. Naruto sneezed as he woke up. Someone must be talking about me. Naruto said as he went back to sleep. Year 3. We find our heroes in the clan compound. Over the past few months, Naruto met one of his other ladies named. She wore the usual Organization 13 uniform, only with high heels. She had asked 5 months after they met could she join the harem. Usually Naruto had to ask his other wives if they approved. Naturally, they approved of name. During this year, Naruto met and signed 4 new summoning contracts. The contracts were Rayquaza the Emerald Dragon, Giratina the Shadow Dragon, and Gyarados the Red Dragon contract, and Lucario of the Aura Wolf contract. Flashback. Naruto was taking a night walk. Xemnas told him to go in the forest and to look for a lake. There was a few creature he wanted Naruto to meet. As Naruto walked through the forest, he came across a lake. He focused his chakra into his hand, and a ball of light was formed. He put his hand in the air and shot the light into the sky. After that, a dark portal appeared out of the sky, and a shadow-like dragon came through. In the lake, a red-scaled dragon. Out in the sky, a green-scaled dragon appeared out of the sky. After that, a portal appeared out of nowhere, and a wolf-like creator came out of the portal. All 3 beings were looking at Naruto. I am Gyarados, the dragon of the sea. Gyarados said, I am Rayquaza, the dragon of the sky. Rayquaza said, I am Giratina, the dragon of the shadows. Giratina said, I am Lucario, the guardian of Aura. Lucario said, so Xemnas said that I was going to be training with. Naruto asked with all 4 of them nodding. Yes, use your shadow clones, and we will take them to our realms where we will teach them our techniques, Giratina said with Naruto nodding his head. He created 20 clones and had 15 go with Giratina, Rayquaza, and Gyarados, while the other 4 in the real one train with Lucario. Alright Naruto, I am going to teach you my taijutsu style. Get into my stance, Lucario said as he showed Naruto and the clones the stance. End of flashback. We find Naruto in his clan compound talking with the girls while laughing. Attention ninja of Twilight Village, this is an emergency meeting, come to the war room, IMMEDINTLY. Zemna's voice ringed, shocking everybody. Naruto looked at his girls and said, we better get going. Naruto said with the girls nodding their heads, in the emergency room. Hakume Kage-sama, what is the emergency? One random Twilight ninja asked. My people, I regret to inform you that a horde of over 1,000 nobodies are getting ready to invade Twilight Village. Zemna said, getting shocked reactions from everybody. Now before everybody gets panicked, I have a solution. The village advisor Ansem, the Wise, and myself have decided that we will send our best ninja that are good at capture and assassination. The following please step forward. Shin Rinoa heartily Hinata, Naruto Namikaze, Riku, Larksin of the Savage Knife, Roxas, Namen, and Yuffie Kisaragi. The following people stepped forward. You all have been chosen to do this mission. This will determine the outcome of Twilight Village's future. Are you all ready for this? Zemnas asked, getting a loud yes, sir. Okay, then the mission starts now. Naruto, you will act as team leader. Destroy these nobodies before they get here, Zemnas exclaimed as the group rushed out to counter the nobodies. At the battlefield. We find our heroes at the battlefield constructing a strategy to fight these nobodies. Alright guys, here's the plan. Larksin, you will stand on this plate from directly above from the army. You will fire you electrified knives into the ground, paralyzing the army so they can't move. While me, Roxaskshin, Rinoa, Hinata, and Yuffie will cut down the army. Riku, use your darkness to try to contain the electric discharge so it doesn't wear out. Name, use your drawing pad to draw up water around the field to help make the electricity more effective. Any question? Naruto asked with nobody raising their hands. All right, let's do this, Naruto said with everybody getting to their post. Larksenin went directly above the army and started firing her knives filled with electricity. Ariku used his dark powers on the field to give the electricity power. Then Namen used her powers to surround the field with water. As this was happening, Naruto, Roxas, Hinata, Yuffie, and Rinoa was cutting the Heartless down a few sizes with her combine. Roxas was using his magic hour technique, while Yuffie was using her greased lighting. Naruto and Hinata were using Event Harazone, but no matter what they did, the nobodies kept on coming. We're not getting anywhere doing this, Hinata shouted. Then I have no other choice then. Everybody, I want you all to get away from the area. The technique I am about to do will kill everybody in the area, Naruto shouted with everybody looking at him astonished. But Naruto want you be killed as well. Shin asked, slightly worried that Naruto might die from this technique. Don't worry, this jutsu won't kill me. Now Gyo, Naruto yelled as the group retreated. When the group was a good distance back, he summoned fire chakra to surround his body. He then went through multiple hand signs before yelling. Fire and wind style, BLAZING wind explosion JUTSU. Naruto yelled as the fire around him took the shape of a ball and expanded, destroying everything in sight. All the nobodies were destroyed, turned to rubble. The jutsu looked like it contained a large amount of fire, and a wind jutsu let the fire out, causing a massive main hole after the jutsu was done. Wow, when he said it was going to kill everybody in the area, he wasn't kidding. Rinoa said with her dog Angelo barking in agreement. Alright guys, let's go home. Naruto said with everybody getting their weapons, and the group came up to view. The group was greeted with loud cheers from a mob that came to the gate to congratulate them. Congratulations, you guys. You're heroes. Thank you so much, were the loud cheers from others. Naruto looked at the group and said, well guys, let's go in and see everybody, Naruto said as the group went in and was jumped and hugged by the villagers. In Konoha. The council was in a meeting trying to find a way to get Naruto to come back to Konoha when suddenly a Chunin bust the meeting room. Hokage-sama, I think you should see this, the Chunin said as he handed Tsune the newspaper. Her eyes bulged out of her sockets after reading what the article said. The saviors of Twilight Villages. When locals discovered that an army of nobodies were going to invade the Twilight village, the Hakumei sended his most trusted shinobi that were good at capture and assassination missions. This group attacked the army, captured the enemies, and destroyed the army. The hero that led this group was Naruto Namikaze, who led his team to victory. When Minato read this article, he had one thought going in his head. Naruto, you truly have become a hero, Minato thought as he read the article. Year 4. We find our hero walking up to Zemna's office wanting to hear about his new mission. Over this past year, Zemna's trained Naruto to use his techniques and his fighting style. Think of the way he fight in Kingdom Hearts 2. Naruto walks in TC Zemna's doing paperwork. Naruto walks up to Zemna's and says, "All right, Zemna's, what's the new mission?" Naruto asked with Zemna's looking at him while saying, "Lately the animals in the forest have been acting more dangerous than usual, as something is disturbing them. I want you to head over to the forest and investigate," Zemnas said with Naruto nodding his head and headed to the forest. In the forest. Zemnas was right, the animals in this forest are disturbed. Naruto thought as he saw the animals looking very disturbed until he saw the source of the disturbance. There in the clearing was two female ninja, one with a lighting symbol on her headband and the other with a rain headband, only it was crossed out. Naruto made a shadow clone and had him pick up the one with the lightning headband while he picked up the one with the crossed headband. I have to get them out of here, Naruto thought as he headed back to Twilight Village. A few days later, Konan and Yujito woke up to see Naruto and Zemnas looking at them for explanation. "All right, tell me what happened," Naruto asked with both girls looking away from him. "Well, the Raikage sent me on a mission to investigate the disappearance of a little girl. I realized that it was just a ploy when two Akatsuki members tried to capture me. I barely made it out of there before I met Konan here," Yujito said looking at Konan. "I met Yujito when Out Leader told me to go with some of the other Akatsuki members on a mission, but it also turned out to be a ploy when my comrades tried to kill me. They kept on saying that the true leader told them to kill me," Konan said with Naruto getting angry that her own partner would betray her. "It wasn't our sub-leader, it was the true leader of the Akatsuki, Madara Uchiha," Konan said getting an audible gasp from Zemnas. "So that fool Madara is still alive, huh?" Zemnas said getting confused looks from Konan. "You know Madara," Konan said getting a bod from Zemnas. "Yes, me and that old fool fought in combat before, wiped his ass last time," Zemnas said getting a chuckle from Naruto and the girls until Roxas bust in the door. "Hakumei-sama, we got a letter from the Raikage," Roxas said getting a glar from Zemnas. "How many times do I have to tell you, Roxas? Stop calling me Hakumei-sama, you are part of the organization," Zemnas said getting a nod from Roxas as he opened the note and read it. "Dear Hakumei-Kage, I understand that you have one of my ninja in your village. I will be coming to your village to reclaim my weapon in a week's time." "Raikage-sama, that arrogant prick," Zemnas thought as he told Naruto what the note said. He immediately was angry. No, he was furious. Well, he thinks that he could just reclaim Yujito like she's just some weapon, huh? Well, don't worry, cause he's got another thing come in, Naruto said while he exited the hospital. 1 week later, the Raikage made his was to Twilight Village with his bodyguards. He was serious about getting his weapon back. When he got to the gates, the guards let him past and he went straight to Zemna's office to get his weapon. When he entered the office, he saw Yujito, Zemna's, his 4 bodyguards. "Hakumei-Kage-sama, I have assumed that you have received my letter," Raikage asked getting a nod from Zemna's. He then looked at Yujito and said, "All right then, Yujito, come on, we have a long way to go to get back to the village," Raikage said with Yujito not even moving. "No," Yujito said, getting surprised looks from the lighting shinobi. "I'm sorry, Yujito, I didn't hear you. What did you say?" Raikage said, flaring his chakra, trying to intimidate Yujito. She looked a little scared, but she stood her ground. "No, I will not go back with you. I am happy here in Twilight Village," she said. "You will come back to Kumo and become a shinobi again, or so help me, I am going to." "To do what, team?" Naruto said with his golden angel right at the tip of his neck. The lighting shinobi looked surprised at his speed. "I didn't even see him move." "Were there thoughts?" You will not take Yujito-chan if she does not wish to go with you. I'll kill you myself if I have to protect her. Naruto said, letting his killer intent out of control, making everybody scared out of their asses. This kid is good, and if I fight him now, I just might lose my leg. Raikage thought as he felt Naruto killer intent. He then looked at Naruto and said, "All right, boy, how about I make a deal with you? In 1 year, I'll come back here and we could have a duel. I win, Yujito comes back to Kumo. Of course, if you win, then she'll become a Twilight ninja. Do we have a deal?" Raikage said, getting a nod from Naruto. "All right, you have yourself a deal," Naruto said with the Raikage nodding his head and walking out the door with his Gyurades. Naruto looks at the rest in the group and says, "Well, gotta go train," Naruto said, running out the door. Couple hours later, Naruto is sitting at the center of training ground thinking about what he was going to do, when all of a sudden 4 portals open and Giratina, Gyarados, Rayquaza, and Lucario walk out. "So how's training going?" Lucario asked, getting a sigh from Naruto. "Not so good, I don't know what I am going to do," Naruto said, getting looks from the summons while they looked at each other and nodded their heads. "All right, Naruto, we have come to a conclusion. We will all train you for 1 year. You will come back the day the Raikages comes back," Giratina said, getting a surprised look from Naruto. "Really?" Naruto yelled, getting nods from the summons. "Yes, Lucario will open a portal 1 week from now to take you to our training grounds where you will be training with us for a year, so go explain this to Xemnas," Giratina said, getting a nod from Naruto as he ran off. 1 week later, Naruto was back at the training ground only to find the organization, his girls, and Xemnas waiting for him. "You all came to see me off?" Naruto asked, getting nods from everybody. "Come back safe, Naruto," Kshin said. "You better make it back alive, you knucklehead," Hinata said as he got similar comments from the group as a portal opened. "All right, guys, see you in 1 year," Naruto yelled as he jumped through the vortex, not being seen for 1 year, year 5. A hooded figure was walking to Twilight Village while looking at the latest bingo book. The bingo book said, "Name Kshin, age 18, rank as Chunin." Reason helped wipe out an entire army of nobodies, killed over 100 rock shinobi. Titles: Twilight Village's Speed Devil. Weapons: Keyblade. Flee on sight. Name: Hinata. Age 18. Rank as Chunin. Reason was one of the key ninjas that killed an entire army of nobodies. Weapons: lavender-colored gunblade. Title: Twilight Village's Lavender Heart. Flee on sight. Name: Haku. Age 21. Rank as Chunin. Reason: killed over 120 mist ninjas. Weapon: blade made out of ice, sky blue gunblade. Title: Twilight Village's Ice Queen. Flee on sight. Name: Kyuubi. Age 21. Rank S. Reason: killed over 300 Kumo ninja. Weapon: Crimson Gunblade. Title: Twilight Village's Crimson Angel. Flee on sight. Name: Tifa Lockhart. Age 19. Rank Shunin. Reason: killed a mob of 200 lightning ninjas using Taijutsu. Taijutsu rivals that of Tsunade Senju, the 5th Hokage. Come on, people, we all know just how strong Tifa is in Final Fantasy VII. Title: Twilight Village's Brawler. Flee on sight. Name: Teuya. Age 20. Rank S Jonin. Reason: can make illusion with only a flute. Killed over 300 ninjas with said genjutsu. Flee on sight. Name: Rinoa Heartily. Age 19. Rank as Chunin. Reason: could use a large number of ninjutsu that killed 250 ninjas. Title: Twilight Village's Chakra Master. Okay, I am getting really tired of describing all their powers, so I'll just cut it short for now. Anybody who wants to know more can email me. Now what really caught though was his bingo entry. Name: Naruto Namikaze. Age 19. Rank SSS Chunin. Reason: led his team to victory by defeating over 1,000 nobodies. Son of 4th Hokage. Weapons yellow gunblade, golden angel, mass immune, keyblade. Title Twilight Village's blazing storm, blazing wind master. Flee on sight, you would have to be on drugs to fight him. He mentally chuckled as he remembered what he did for the girls before he left the village. Flashback. Naruto had explained to the girls what he was going to do and that he was going to be gone for a year. So this is what I'll do, girls. I'll leave you all instruction on how to do the Rasengan. When I come back next year, I want to see your progress, okay? Naruto said as he got aloud. Sir, yes, Sir, from the girls as they each ran up to him and kissed him on the lips one at a time. Twilight Council Room. The Organization 13, the girls from the Namikaze compound and elders were in the room discussing the return of their favorite blonde enigma when all of a sudden a black portal opened and a hooded figure walked out. The figure looked at Xemnas. Xemnas then said, "It's good see you again, Naruto," Xemnas said as the now identified man took his hood off. Everybody was astonished. Naruto now looked like an exact copy of Minato, only he had whisker more defined now. His hairstyle now resembled Minato. He looked at Xemnas and said, "It's good to be back," Naruto said as his fiancées hugged their hero. "It's so good to see you," Kshin said. Her hair was now flowing down past her shoulders with a few bangs covering her eyes. Think of Kairi's hair as stili in Kingdom Hearts 2. "Hi Naruto-kun," Hinata said, her sharpened in clothing but only under her hood. As he was about to continue saying hello to his wives, the door bust open to show a certain Raikage we all know. "All right, runt ready for an ass whoopin'?" Raikage asked. Naruto smiled and said, "Don't worry, the only one that's going to get his ass whopped is you," Naruto said, getting a growl from the Raikage said as he and the people in the room headed for the field. Training Ground 36. As Naruto and the Raikage got into their places, everybody cleared the area for what they knew what was going to be an explosive match. All right, the match between Naruto Namikaze and the Raikage will now begin. The referee yelled as he moved out of the way. Naruto quickly went through hand seal and yelled, "Water and wind style, aqua wind, tornado jutsu." As Naruto said this, a wind picked up and water evaporated out of the sky and appeared in the form of a body-sized tornado. "What is that tornado for?" the Raikage asked. "It's part of my techniques, don't worry, you will see what it means," Naruto said as the Raikage got mad and went through hand seal before yelling, "Lighting style high voltage jutsu." He yelled as a large amount of lighting was sent. Naruto was only for it to go straight for the tornado as it absorbed the attack, rendering it useless. "That's what I meant when I said you will see what my attack does later. My jutsu uses the water inside of it and concentrates the lighting into the tornado while the wind chakra evaporates the thunder. It's the ultimate jutsu against thunder-based attacks," Naruto exclaimed as he drew his gunblade. All of a sudden it then glowed blue. "Rasengan blade," Naruto exclaimed as he drew his blade. "Can somebody please find me the Japanese name for that technique? It's a jutsu I invented by testing the Rasengan and making several variations from my studies," Naruto said as he disappeared and reappeared in front of the Raikage and stabbed him in the left rib cage before pulling it out to reveal a gaping hole in his chest. "This is one of the abilities of the Rasengan blade. I send my blade into your chest and the energy in the blade spirals in a certain motion. When I pull my blade out, it takes out all of the blood and intestines I ripped out of you. You should give up, I already handicapped you of your ninjutsu and I just hit you in your vital organs," Naruto said as he put his gunblade on his waist. The Raikage scoffed and yelled, "Not until I get my weapon back." He roared as he went through hand signs before yelling, "Fire style dragon flame jutsu," as he sent fire his way. Naruto yawned before saying, "Water style Rasengan shield," he said as he formed a Rasengan in his hand before adding water element in his hand. He then held the ball of sprawling water in front of him as the Rasengan took the form of a shield and blocked against the fire. "See, I told you I am invincible against fire and lighting," Naruto said as the Raikage looked down before saying, "All right, I submit defeat, but I'll be back," Raikage said as he headed away from the field, back to Kumo. Naruto then looked at the onlookers and said, "Well, that was some crazy shit there, wasn't it?" Naruto said as he was barraged with question, happy that he was home after 1 full year. Several hooded figures made their way to Konoha, all wearing black cloaks. The one on the far right says to the one in the middle, "Well, my friend, it's been a while since we have been here, huh?" She said. The one in the middle said, "Indeed, it's been a long time. I bet it's still the same scumbag village it was 5 years ago." The one in the middle said as the others chuckled slightly, "I still can't believe you got the Mizukage to join the harem. Tell us how it happened again." The one on the far left said, "All right, it all happened when Xemnas sent me on that mission while I was training with the summoning." The one in the middle said, flashback. As Naruto was running to Kirigakure, he read the mission scrolls Xemnas gave him through summoning. "Dear Naruto, your mission is to go to Kirigakure and give the Mizukage a treaty document that I have sealed in the envelope I gave you. Make sure that she gets that document." Xemnas. "All right then, I better hurry up then," Naruto said as he sped up to the entrance gate only to see something that made his blood boil. Mizukage was coming back from an important meeting with a daimyo from Wind Country. She was tired and sore from the traveling she had to do and just wanted to get home when she was ambushed by a bunch of Konoha nins. "You know, you really should have taken the peace treaty that we delivered 2 days ago. Because of you, our villagers blame us for not getting you to sign it, bitch," one of the Konoha nins said as he pushed her to the ground and got on top of her. "Now we're going to teach you to obey us," one of them said as he was getting ready to take her innocence. "Is this really how I am going to lose it? No, I wanted to lose my virginity to someone I love," she thought as he was getting ready to take her. "Get your hands off her, filth," Naruto yelled as he kicked all the nins off her. "Hey, look, if it isn't the son of the fourth. You know your father is trying to do everything he can to get you back in the Leaf Village," the nin said, enraging Naruto. "Don't change the subject. You all are going to get a Major ass Woopin now," Naruto said as the nin's screams could be heard throughout the night. When Naruto was done, he walked over to the cage as she huddled into a corner. "Are you all right?" Naruto asked as she shook her head yes. He then took off his cloak and put it over her. He then said, "I am taking you to the hospital," Naruto said as he ran at top speed while the Mizukage blacked out. "In the hospital." As the Mizukage woke up, she saw the sleeping figure of Naruto Namikaze. At first she was shocked that the blazing storm of Twilight Village saved her from those men. While she remembered on her way back to the village, she received a message from the Hakume Cage that a ninja from his ranks was bringing her a treaty. When she saw Naruto yawn and wake up, he immediately went to her side. "Mizukage-sama, are you all right?" Naruto asked, which he received a blush from her. She was about to answer that question when a doctor came in the room. "Well, Mizukage-sama, you seem to be okay. If it wasn't for this young man right here, I don't even want to imagine what might happen to you. Anyways, you seem to be all right, but I suggest that you stay in the hospital for the night," the doctor said. "I am staying right here. I don't want to risk anything Elise happening to her," Naruto said with the doctor nodding his head and went to go get some sheets for him. When he came back, he gave Naruto the sheets and he exited the hospital to go back to his wife and kids, happy that someone will be there to watch the Mizukage since her bodyguards were on missions right now. Later that night, the Mizukage woke up in the middle of the night. She looked at Naruto as he was peacefully sleeping. "I have to repay him somehow," the Mizukage thought as she got a perverted thought and went into her close ben. A few minutes later, she walked up to Naruto. "Hey Naruto, wake up," she said as Naruto began to stir awake. When he saw her, his eyes bugged out open. She was wearing nothing but a nightgown. "What are you doing?" Naruto asked as she grinned at him. "I am simply thanking the man who saved my virginity," she said as she closed the door shut. All that could be heard were the screams and moans coming out of the room. The next morning, as Naruto was getting ready to leave with the peace treaty in his hand, the Mizukage whispered in his ear, "Thank you for that wonderful night, Naruto-kun. I hope we could do it again sometime," she said as Naruto whispered in her ear, "If you want, I could get you in my harem. I am the last Namikaze that could use my blood limit," he whispered back with her nodding in agreement as he parted and left to go his own way. End of flashback. "That was one amazing night," Naruto said, getting death glares from the woman in the group. "Don't worry, girls, I didn't forget about any of you," he assured as the girls stopped giving him the glares. They were in front of the gates now. "Halt, identifications, please," The guard said as everybody pulled out their id cards. When they saw Naruto's card, their eyes widened. They immediately let the group pass. As the group was walking, they were confronted with what was left of the Konoha 9. The Hokage has ordered that you come with us to the council chambers, Sasuke said. Ah, Sasuke, still a backstabbing some of a bitch, I remembered, huh? Naruto said, getting a glare from said Nin. You are coming with us, Naruto, or we will take you by force, Sasuke said. Naruto looked at him for a minute before saying, Look, I know you're gay and you like going to the gay club on the other side of the village, Sasuke, but I am straight. I actually like girls, Naruto said, causing the group to laugh at the said Uchiha, who was fuming. Come on guys, let's see what those bitches want now, Naruto said as the group opened portals and went through them, leaving a shocked group behind them. In the council chamber, the various clans of Konoha were in the chamber, hoping to get Naruto back into Konoha and back under their thumb. When a portal opened and the figures came out, the council meeting immediately began. All right, what do you all want? Naruto said with Minato staring off. Naruto, we wish to invite you to come back to Konoha, Minato said with Danzo continuing for him. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, we wish for you to rejoin Konoha. If you do come back to Konoha, you will be given all of your clan rights. We would also like to inform you that we will give you the title Hokage once Tsunade retires, Danzo said with Kushina picking up after him. Naruto, please, I wish to invite you to rejoin the Uzumaki clan. If you come back, you will be clan heir and W will teach you all of our clan secrets. Please, Naruto, come back to your family, Kushina said, hoping that she would be given a second chance to make up with her child. Not only will you become the Hokage Naruto, but we will write up the marriage contracts and have you marry the chosen woman, Sakura Haruno, Ino Yamanaka, Hana Yuzuka, and Kagome Uzumaki. Koharu said, expecting that him to take the offers that is being given. Everybody was looking at Naruto, expecting him to answer when. You all expect me to just forgive and forget, huh? To just take these offers and come back to this scumbag village, huh? Naruto said, letting his chakra flare a little bit. We know that you might not forgive us now, but we were hoping that you would forgive us and hoping that you would give us a chance to make up for what we have done to you as a child, Himura said. And why, pray tell, would I come back to a village filled with nothing but a bunch of fools who can't tell a difference between a prison and a prisoner, Naruto said. And right after that he let his chakra skyrocket. And why would I come back to a village full of nothing but ninjas who try to rape somebody just cause they didn't sign a piece of paper, Naruto said with his chakra turning a jet black color. So he knows, was most of their thoughts as they remembered when Kirigakure almost went to war for the ninjas who tried to violate the Mizukage. Besides, Zemna's already offered me the title Hakume Kage 2 years from, Naruto said with everybody's eyes widening from surprise. Now they knew that their chances were down the toilet. Naruto turned to Minato. If there's nothing else to say, then we're leaving, Naruto said with Minato nodding as they left the room. Later that night, as the group was preparing for bed, a Pichu summoning appeared. Naruto, a scroll from the Mizukage, the Oichu said as she gave the scroll to Naruto and puffed away. Dear Naruto-kun, hey Hottie, just want to let you know that I am coming to Konoha for the Jonin exams. I hope you will be there so we could have another meeting. I'll see you soon, Mizukage. As Naruto woke up from his bed, he noticed that all of the girls were either in chairs or on his bed laying right next to him. They must love doing this or something, Naruto thought as he got up and put his clothes on, which was his organization close on. He wrote a note to the girls saying that H will be back in a while. As he exited the door, he started to walk around the village until he came to his favorite spot in Konoha. Ikaraku's. Hey old man, I am back, Naruto yelled as I.M. came out with the owner of the place himself. When he took a seat, he noticed a familiar Konohamaru core. Konohamaru Mogi Udon, Naruto exclaimed as the said ninja hugged Naruto. Nig-san, Konohamaru said as the three glomped him and started crying. We missed you, Aniki, Udon and Mogi said as Naruto hugged them back. I missed you all too. Come on, let's talk, Naruto said as he took a seat and they started talking. So Nig-san, I take it you're not coming back to Konoha at all, huh? Konohamaru said, depressed that his brother figure wouldn't come back. Naruto looked at him and said, I'm sorry, Nig-san, but I can't. I am a Twilight ninja now, and I can't come back to this village filled with nothing but arrogance. But I'll tell you what, if you want I could talk to Zemnas and have you, Mogi and Udden become ninjas of Twilight Village. Naruto said with Konohamaru thinking it over. We need some time to think about this. Konohamaru said with the others nodding at him while Naruto just smiled and said, take as much time as you need. Naruto said getting up, finishing his ramen, paying aim and exiting the stand. Halt. Naruto turned to see the rest of the Konoha 9 with their senseis. What do you want, Sasuke? Naruto joked, causing everybody in the group to chuckle. Said Uchiha only narrowed his eyes and said, look Naruto, as long as you're in Konoha we have some type of form of control over you. Now as long as you're here, why don't we go out for a little while? Sakura said, expecting him to follow her like the little love-sick puppy he used to be. Go to hell, bitch, Naruto said, making Sakura look at him in surprise. Fight me, Sasuke said with Naruto saying, sorry, I don't fight gay people, Naruto said, which caused even more chuckles. Fight me, Dobi, or I'll go to the council and make your little friends my bitches. Sasuke said with Naruto turning to him with his Kaminari again activated. You just crossed the line, Uchiha. Where do we meet? Naruto said with Sasuke smirking. At Training Ground 7. Sasuke said with Naruto using the Hurricane to teleport there, while everybody else used their individual Shushins. At Training Ground 7. As they all appeared at the training ground, they noticed that Jiraiya, Tsunade, Minato, Kushina, and Naruto there as if they were waiting there in the first place. As everybody backed away from the area, Sasuke began to speak. Hey Dobi, let's make a wager. I win, I get all the girls that were betrothed to you. Sasuke said, enraging Naruto even more. You can go straight to hell. I am putting in your place Uchiha. Naruto yelled as Sasuke charges at him with his sword in his hand. His sword from Shippuden, as he charges lightning chakra in his blade, Naruto draws the golden angel and charges it with fire chakra as both their swords collide, causing a mixture of fire and lighting chakra to explode. As Sasuke back up, he yells, Chidori Senbon. Sasuke yelled a spiked version of the Chidori shot at Naruto. Naruto quickly retaliates and yells, Wind-style Gale Palm. Naruto yelled as wind surrounded him and defended him from the electrified Senbons. Sasuke grew mad and said, what the hell? How did you get so strong? He yelled out in anger. Naruto just said, through hard work. That, and I don't use a certain doujutsu to cheat my way through the shinobi life. Naruto said as he grabbed his sword as it glowed blue. Rasengan blade, Naruto said as the blade glowed blue, while Sasuke grabbed his blade and ignited it with lighting chakra again. Chidori spear, Sasuke said as he shot a Chidori spear at Naruto, who only said wind-style wind blast as he held his hand out, and a large amount of wind came out and blowed the lighting spear away. As this happened, Naruto wind shushined right next to Sasuke and uppercut punched him into the air, while Naruto jumped into the air and got above Sasuke and yelled, wind-style, blazing punch. He said as his hand was ignited with fire chakra and slammed into Sasuke as he was hurtling to the ground. Damn you, Namikaze, Sasuke yelled. He then smirked and said, it doesn't matter. Once I beat you, I'll take those bitches of yours for myself and have them help me revive the Uchiha clan. The minute he finished that sentence, he was decked square in the face by Naruto, and he looked mad. You're going to pay for that little comment you just said, Naruto said as a large amount of chakra was formed into his hand. Multi-Rasengan of Doom, Naruto yelled as he shot the Rasengans at Sasuke. The strange part was that it looked like the Rasengans were still being held in his hand while he was shooting them at Sasuke. Think of Android 17's special and DBZ burst limit the access shot. As they were hitting Sasuke, the spiraling spheres were adding on chakra as they were being thrown at him. Secret Jutsu, Fury of the Spiraling Sphere, Naruto said as all of the collected chakra from the Rasengans combined into one and exploded in Sasuke's face. Darami, Sasuke yelled as a dust cloud covered the area. When the dust cloud vanished, they saw Sasuke in the middle of the area, his wardrobe torn open and his body covered in blood. As Naruto was getting ready to finish off Sasuke, someone grabbed his hand. The Mizukage, Naruto-kun, now's not the time for that, she said as her bodyguards came to her side. Chijiro then said, Naruto, she's right, don't waste your time with this scum. Naruto decided to listen to Chijiro's words and left the Sasuke alone. As he walked out of the area, the other members of Organization 13 walked out of their hiding spots. Getting a little out of hand, I see, Kyuubi said as the others chuckled. Naruto smirked and was about to retort when Minato got in front of Naruto and said, Naruto, the Uzumaki Council would like to have a word with you. Minato said as Naruto sneered and said, Look, I thought we made this clear in the council room. I want nothing to do with that clan. Naruto said with Naruko saying, Please Aniki, we only want to talk. She said as Naruto gave her a hard glare. Don't talk to me like we're family now. He said with Naruko lowering her head. But I'll go with you so I can make my point clear to that damn clan. He said as he made his way to the clan compound in the Uzumaki clan council. The clan council was in session hoping to get Naruto back into the clan and back under their thumb. When Naruto walked into the council, he said, All right, what do you all want this time? Naruto said, clearly agitated that he had to come to this meeting. It's simple, Naruto. We simply want you to return to the clan. Jack said, earning a snort from Naruto. I thought I made it perfectly clear that I wanted nothing to do with either Konoha or this damn clan. And for you all to even think that you all can persuade me into going back is even pathetic by itself. Naruto said, causing everybody beside Kushina and Minato to glare or narrow their eyes at him. Look, Naruto, either you can come back to the clan willingly, or we could force you. Jessie said, only earning a glare at her from Naruto. And how are you going to do that, might I ask? Naruto asked only for them to get smudged smiles on their faces. Well, Naruto, from what we've heard, you seem to be closely attached to those girls that you seem to like so much. It would be a shame if something were to happen to them. Jack said, but the minute he finished his sentence, he was hoisted in the air by an angry Naruto with the Kaminari activated. Now you listen to me, you ugly son of a birch. If anything, and I mean anything, happens to any of the girls that are betrothed to me, and it directly involves this clan, I'll make sure that you and the rest of these old bastards never see the sun again. You hear me? Naruto yelled as he powered up a Rasengan in his hand and was getting to slams it right in Jack's face until he heard a peaceful melody that sounded like it was playing from a flute. The song Dearly Beloved KH2 358 2 Days version song. The song sounded peaceful and it sounded like it was being played from two flutes instead of one. What two? Huh, you two never surprise me. Kshin and Teuya. Naruto said as he looked at the door, and sure enough, two female figures came out of the shadows. I knew we shouldn't have left you alone. You need to be supervised sometimes. Kshin said as the organization members came out of their hiding spots as well. Don't worry, Naruto, stop trying to be so protective of us. We didn't get those S-ranked statues for no reason, UK and W. Renoa said with the girls nodding. Naruto just sighed and said, I know. I am just worried about you all. Naruto said as he turned and stared at the Uzumaki group. You all better know your place or ill did what I did to Sasuke. Naruto said as the Uzumakis growled at him as he and the group exited the building. Nightfall. As Naruto was getting ready to turn in, he saw that all his brides were in front of him. Naruto, we all feel that you have not been spending your time equally with us. Tifa said as the girls nodded their heads. Naruto just sighed and did a hand sign we all know. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto yelled as 85 Naruto clones puffed out of nowhere. You all are right, I haven't been spending my time equally with you. So how about this, I made 85 clones, 5 for each of you to have and do with as you please. Naruto said as the girls took 5 Naruto clones each and went to individual rooms. The rest of the night was filled with nothing but screams and moans coming out of the hotel. Damn Naruto, keep it down, I can't get any sleep. Xemnas yelled. Oh, come on, Naruto, why are you doing this? We're trying to sleep. The other guys of the organization yelled only to get more screams and yells from the girls and the Naruto clones. As Naruto was walking to the exam tower with the rest of the group, he noticed a presence that was following them behind. He turned around to see Naruko. What do you want? Naruto asked, clearly agitated that she wax in front of him, thinking that she was trying to get him back to the clan. Please, Aniki, I just want to talk, Naruko said, hoping to try to heal their broken family. Naruto just sighed and said, hey guys, I'll catch up later. He said with the rest just nodding their heads and going to the tower. He then turned his attention to Naruko and said, all right, what do you want? If it's to return to that clan, I already told you I am not going back. Naruto said with Naruko just shaking her head. No, Naruto, I've come to beg you to give me, Mom, and Dad another chance. Naruko said as she stood there with determination in her eyes. And why should I give you three another chance to make for what you all have done to me? Naruto questioned, as he only got a sad look from her. You're right, Naruto, we really don't deserve a second chance from you. But that's why I want to plead for another chance. Naruto, as a few tears started to fall down her face. Naruto just looked at her for a minute until sighing. "I'll have tea think about that," Naruto said as he entered the exam building. As Naruto looked up and was smiling, glad that she, her mother, and father still has a chance even if it was a small one. In the exam towers. As everybody was in the tower, Naruto saw someone he had not seen in a long, long time. "Gaara," Naruto shouted as he saw that Gaara was the Kage of his village. "Uzumaki, I haven't seen you in a while," Gaara said as Temari and Kinkuro came into view. When Naruto saw Temari, he had one thought in his mind. Damn, he thought as he saw that Temari was a full-grown woman now. She had on black tight ambu-style pants with a fishnet shirt in and black shinobi shoes. As he thought that, Temari also had the same thought. He started to look back at Gaara and noticed the ring around his finger. "Gaara, you're married," Naruto exclaimed with Gaara nodding his head, as Gaara's wife Matsuri came to view with a little 5-year-old behind her leg. "Naruto, I would like for you to meet Matsuri, my wife, and my son Gaara Jr." Gaara said as he shook hands with Matsuri. When he looked at the 5-year-old, he looked like an exact copy of his dad. He stuck his finger out and the 5-year-old shook it with his tiny hand. As Naruto took his finger back, he saw the board start to match people up for battle, the same way in the Chunin exams. What surprised Naruto were the two names that came. Shin vs. Rock Lee. As they both made their way downstairs, Lee proclaimed, "Yashits will be a youthful experience to battle someone of your caliber." Rock Lee proclaimed as Kshin just said, "You know I might have to kill you for betraying Naruto-kun," Kshin said as Rock Lee looked sad for a moment. "Yes, I know, and I wish there was something I could do to make up to Naruto, but I might have blew my chances when I turned my back on him as well," Lee said as Kshin looked at him. Maybe some people have changed their views on him, she thought. "Begin," the proctor yelled as he moved the hell out of the way. The minute he was clear, Kshin rushed at Lei and delivered a swift kick to the chin, making him spin out of control in the air as she jumped into the air and tried to roundhouse kick Lei, only for him to grab the kick and knock it away, sending Kshin to the wall, and she landed safely on it but putting Chakra to her feet. She then disappeared and then reappeared in front of Lei and punched him in the air, but not before hitting a nervous cluster, causing him to go paralyzed. She then formed a Rasengan in her hand and slammed it down at Lei, knocking him out. Winner Kshin. As she made her way up the stairs, she was rewarded with clapping from the Twilight Shinobi. Hinata versus Neji Hyuga. As they were in the middle, both Hyuga stared at each other. "You've grown, Hinata," Neji said as Hinata nodded her head. "Hear you to have grown, Neji," she said. "Begin," the proctor yelled. They both ran at each other, both ready to kill. Neji had tried to use the 64 palms tech on her, but she defended with the 64 palm protection. As he finished using the last palm strike, she garbed his arm and yanked it and then punched him in the face, but not before delivering a crushing kick to the abdomen. As he got back up and tried to attack Ar with his kunai, she used a different type of Rasengan that Naruto taught her before they left the Twilight Village. 8 Trigames, protection of the spiraling sphere. She proclaimed as the rotation in the form of the Rasengan came from her body and expanded, hitting Neji as well, knocking his ass right out. Winner Hinata. As Hinata made her way up the banner, Naruto gave her a swift smack on the ass. "Way to go," he whispered as she stood right next to him, grinning like a Cheshire cat, while all of the girls in the arena were glaring at Hinata. While this was happening, Jiraiya shushed in front of Naruto. "What do you want now?" Naruto asked with Jiraiya sighing. "Naruto, please come back to the village, we want back here," he said with Naruto snorting. "How many times do I have to tell you people I am not coming back?" Naruto said, irritated that they won't give up. As he got ready to walk away, Jiraiya said something that got him interested. "Wait, what if I challenge you to a fight right now? I win, you come back to Konoha, I lose, you can already guess," Jiraiya said as Naruto turned around and said, "Bring it," he said as he jumped down into the ring with Jiraiya following as well. Naruto Namikaze versus Jiraiya of the Sannin begin. The proctor yelled, knowing that this was going to be an explosive match. The two just stood there until Naruto broke the silence. "You know, if you, Tsunade, Kushina, and the Uzumaki clan had just taken care of me like you should have in the past, this never would have happened," Naruto said as his chakra spiked a little. "I know, and because of our actions, Konoha has lost its strongest, potentially Hokage. If you had just come back to us, Naruto, when we gave you the chance, you would be with your people, the people of Konoha. Jiraiya said as his chakra spiked. You know that's a damn lie, Jiraiya. If I would have stayed here then, I would just be used as breeding material also that Konoha could get the Yondame's bloodline. Naruto said, and as of that moment the floor beneath their feet cracked as their chakra levels were reaching dangerous levels. Know that I am a ninja of the Twilight Village. I'm treated with respect. Children look up to me, and I have women in my clan that love and respect me for who I am, and not just because of my blood limit. Naruto proclaimed. Naruto was all the girls that were betrothed to him thoughts. It don't matter, when I beat you, you will have no choice but to come back to Konoha, Jiraiya said as they both got into their stances. Jiraiya Roman 2 hope you know what you're doing, where he thoughts of Tsunade, Kushina and Minato as they watched the fight getting ready to start. Naruto and Jiraiya then rushed at each other, both exchanging punches and kicks, one move after the other. When Jiraiya tried to make a swift kick to Naruto's face, he grabbed it and swung him into the wall. As he knocked into the wall, Naruto ran up to him with a Rasengan in his hand, only for Jiraiya to counter it with his Rasengan. As they were struggling in the battle, Naruto felt his Rasengan overpowering Jiraiya. He realized this also and jumped away. As Naruto landed on his feet, he ran at Jiraiya and socked him in the face. All right, Naruto, it's time to use my full power, Jiraiya said as he entered Sage mode. Naruto looked at him for a minute until he laughed and said, all right, Jiraiya, but I am warning you, you're going to end up with more than half of your body crushed after this, Naruto said as he formed an enormous amount of chakra in his body as a bright light erupted from his body. When the light was gone, everybody was shocked. He now had a red serpent-like tail coming out of his lower back. His eyes were now blood red with slits. He now had fangs coming out of his mouth. On his back was a large scroll with 2 miniature Gyarados on each side, one blue and one red. As Naruto looked at Jiraiya, he had one thing to say. Let's finish this, Naruto yelled as he charged at Jiraiya. As everybody looked at Naruto's saga form, they were shocked that this was the legendary Gyarados saga mode. They began to wonder what types of jutsu he knew now. As they looked at him, the only major difference was that he had very long whiskers down his cheek and that his hair is blood red. All right, Jiraiya, let's end this, Naruto yelled as he charged at Jiraiya, giving him a crushing roundhouse kick to the face. As he was sent fling at the wall, Naruto hurrishined behind him and punched him upward. He then hurrishined again to the top of the ceiling and landed a crushing Rasengan right down to his abdomen. As Jiraiya got back up, he yelled, Sage Arts, Hair Needle Barrage, he yelled out as his hair extended and was sent sharpened needle at Naruto as Naruto yelled out, Sage Arts. Wooden Wall, Naruto yelled as he summoned a wall made out of wood and defended himself against the sharpened needles. He then broke the wall and took one of the fallen pieces and said, Sage Arts, Electric Blazing Wooden Projectiles. The name spoke for itself as the wood broke into several pieces and then was lit on fire and were charged with thunder chakra and sent projectiles at the Toad Sage, who barely dodged them. You know, you really are a pain in the ass, just like Minato, Jiraiya said as he was painting as he stared at the former Jinchuriki. Yeah, and you're old and pervert, what's the difference? Naruto said. Sage Arts, Deep Fryer, Jiraiya said as he combined fire and wind together and sent the blast at Naruto, who only said, Sage Arts, Aqua Thunder Blast Jutsu. He yelled as the 2 Gyarados on his scroll breathed in before blasting water out their months, while Naruto had charged his hand with lighting chakra and sent the blast at the same time and fused the 3 blasts together as both powerful jutsus collided. That's way too big, Minato yelled as Xemnas was smirking the entire time. You and your village really made a big mistake when your village banished Naruto, Xemnas said with Minato's head looking at the ground. So this is the power of the Chosen One, the Elder Toads thought as they witnessed the power being used by this young man. As Naruto's jutsu seemed to be overpowering Jiraiya's, Jiraiya cancelled the jutsu and moved the hell out of the way. When he had enough space, Jiraiya get up and ran at Naruto, only for him to punch him in the gut, and swift kick to the face sent him in the air as he commanded the 2 aged Gyarados to pin Jiraiya to the wall by both his arms. Rasengan, Naruto yelled as he used the finishing blow to knock out Jiraiya. Winner Naruto Namikaze. As Naruto made his way to through the railings, he passed Minato and whispered, if your village tries anything funny, you might not survive. Naruto said as he walked back to the Twilight group who just cheered him while Teuya passed by him and groped his jewels. Tifa Lockhart vs. Sakura Haruno. Once I defeat you and the rest of those whores, Naruto will have no choice but to come back to me. Sakura said with her inner part of her agreeing, while the girls in the rails were giving her death glares. Then you must have one fucked up daydreams, huh? Tifa said as she saw Sakura's face turn red from anger. Begin. The proctor yelled as he moved the hell out of the way. As soon as he said that, Tifa ran at Sakura and punched the shit out of her. She then uppercut her in the air and jumped from the ground and was heading straight for the pink-haired bitch. As she was in the air, she punched the bitch straight down her chest, sending her to the ground. When she landed safely, she formed a Rasengan in her hand, only the color was brown. Earth-style Rasengan. Tifa yelled as she drove the Rasengan right into her stomach that sent her to the wall, only the strange part was that as soon as she hit the wall, 5 pillars came out the wall, and the middle one pierced Sakura right in the chest. Winner Tifa Lockhart. As she made her way up the rail, she was confronted by Tsunade. You know you didn't have to go that far, she said angrily as she looked at the brunette. This is the Jonin exams, Tsunade-sama. We could do whatever we want here as long as it regulates in the rules. You're lucky I didn't kill that pitiful excuse of a ninja, Tifa said, which only infuriated the blonde Sannin even more as she tried to punch Tifa with all the strength she had, only for Tifa to catch the punch with barely any effort. You call that a punch? HAH, the kids at the academy are stronger than this, Tifa said as she decked Tsunade straight in the face, sending her to the other side of the arena. As Tsunade tried to move out of the crater that the brunette made, she found herself staring at the cold eyes of the said brunette in front of her. Tifa swiftly grabbed her by her neck and left her up while saying, "Now you listen here, you little bitch. Naru-kun is with us now. So I am giving you fair warning, if you ever, and I mean ever, hurt him in any way, I'll make sure that you will never see the sun again, cause you're going to be 6 feet under by the time I am done with you," Tifa said as she threw Tsunade across the room. As Naruto was watching the screens to see who would be next, he was shocked at what he saw. Kyuubi no Kutsune vs. Naruto Uzumaki. As both fighters made their way to the floor, they stared at each other for a second before. You know you might die against me, it's not too late to withdraw now, Kyuubi said as she was staring at the now mad Kanachi. Shut up, Naruto said, which made Kyuubi look at her for a minute. It's because of you that Naruto hates us, it's because of you that Naruto turned his back on us, it's your fault that my damn brother hates me. Naruto roared as she charged up a Rasengan in her hand and rushed at Kyuubi, fully intent on hurting the demon that took her Aniki away from. Poor delusional girl, Kyuubi said as she waited for the right moment until she shushed behind Naruto and uppercut her in the face, canceling the Rasengan. As she was sent into the air, the Kyuubi jumped in the air and kicked her to the ground, but not before landing right on Naruto's stomach and started to smash Naruto's rib cage in. By the time she was done, her entire ribs were caved in her chest. The proctor called the match before she could any more damage. Winner Kyuubi. As she made her way past the balcony, she passed Kushina and whispered, "You fucked up big time," she whispered as Kushina dropped her head and let a few tears roll down her face. As Naruto was walking down the street of Konoha, he noticed that ninjas and civilians were looking at him with respect. The respect he should have been given the minute that he saved them from Shukaku after saving their precious Ukiya, hypocrites. As he walked, he noticed that he was being followed. He turned around to see Minato Namikaze. "What do you want, Minato?" Naruto asked calmly, but the anger in his voice was still there. Minato took a step forward. "Naruto, please give us another chance. I know that by sealing Kyuubi and you I condemned you to a life of hell, but I had to. Believe me, if I knew that the villagers was going to treat you that way, I would have let them be dragged to hell." Minato pleaded, hoping to mend the relationship between their family. "Minato, we can never be a family again. If I come back, the council will just try to turn me into a weapon that will only listen to them. I can't come back to Konoha," Naruto said as he walked away, leaving a teary-eyed Kage who realizes that their family may never become whole again. "Minato, I wish we could be a family again, but the past holds just too much pain," Naruto thought sadly as he walked back to his hotel. 2 hours later. Naruto returned to the hotel to notice that the organization members were all asleep peacefully, except for Hinata, who told him that she had something to do. Knowing that she can handle herself, he quickly went into a mediating stance, sitting in Indian style. He began to close his eyes and began a series of hand signs before yelling lost arts, mind summoning of the One. He yelled as he was knocked, and the space around him turned dark until he was surrounded by what looked like the space-time continuum. He scanned around until he saw a small light. He looked closer until the light shined in his face. As he backed up, a horse-like figure appeared out of the light. The horse-like figure had green-shaped eyes with ripple-like eyelids. Its feet were gold, and a spiked ring was around the creature. Its all-white figure was looking at Naruto with respect. This figure was Arceus, the one who shaped the world and helped the Sage of the Six Paths defeat the ten-tailed Jubai, the strongest summoning in the world. "Naruto-san, what can I do for you?" the beast asked as he looked at the ninja who was destined to help save the world. "Arceus-sama, I don't know what to do. I have my ex-family and my ex-village trying to have me back in their ranks. Not only that, but I also have to worry about my future wives becoming slave to this damn village if they try anything," Naruto said as he sighed. Arceus looked at him for a minute before slightly chuckling to himself. "Naruto, do you remember the first time I met you? The first me we battled to see if you were the one spoken in the prophecy, and the first I mean you fought by Dialga and Palkia's side to defeat me?" The beast asked as Naruto started to remember that time. It was an explosive battle. Flashback. Naruto, with the Masamune in his hand, was floating with Dialga and Palkia, worn out from their battle with the One, Arceus. "If you can't defeat me, Naruto, how do you expect to defeat Madara, especially now that he has 7 of the Biju?" Arceus yelled as Naruto looked at Palkia and Dialga before all three nodded their heads. "You're right, Arceus, how can I expect to defeat Madara if I always act like a stupid kid? The only way to defeat Madara is if I break past MY limits," Naruto yelled as he created a Rasengan in his hand, while Dialga put his mouth right above it, while Palkia put his hand over the Rasengan as his hand turned an eerie pink. "This is the results of my training, this is the results of all my hard work, and this is the results of all the people I hold dear to me," he yelled as he charged at Arceus. "Ultimate ARTS, time space RASENGAN. Naruto yelled as he rammed his new Rasengan at Arceus as he charged up his most powerful attack, Judgment. Arceus yelled as a large white ball of intense energy rushed at Naruto. Both attacks collide with the intent to defeating each other. Both attacks exploded, sending all 4 mighty warriors at least 100 miles away from each other. End of flashback. "Yeah, those were the good times," Naruto said with both warriors laughing at the memory. "Naruto, I've discovered some very alarming news, however. I am going to die in 3 months," Arceus said as Naruto looked at him shocked out of his mind. "What? Why are you dying?" Naruto asked, sad that the strongest dieter in the universe was dying. "Naruto, I've used judgment too much, that's why. You see, whenever I use that technique, I lose part of my lifespan. Technically, I am supposed to live for another 1,000 years, but I was careless and used judgment over 1,000,000 times. It shortened my lifespan," he said sadly as Naruto looked at the ground. "But Naruto looks up at him. My heir will take my place," he said as Naruto looked at him in a shocked manner. "Your heir?" Naruto yelled as Arceus nodded his head. "Not really my heir, but my reincarnation. Before I die, I have to reincarnate myself by taking half of my energy and forming it into an egg. I already did this the minute I found out I was going to die. And no, it's not like making an egg like a bird does for her children," Arceus said as Naruto sighed in relief. "Oh well, you almost had me there," Naruto said with a nervous smile as Arceus just rolled his eyes. "Naruto, instead of forgiving and instead of killing, this is what you could do," Arceus said as he whispered in Naruto's ear as Naruto's eyes widened with surprise. Naruto looked at him and said, "Thank you, Arceus-sama, for everything," Naruto said as he left his mindscape. Naruto had awakened from his mindscape. He noticed that everyone was gone. He saw a piece of paper stuck on the wall next his bed. He took the note and read it. A second later, he ran out the hotel, his eyes glowing with his Kaminarigan activated. The letter wrote, "Dear Naruto, it appears that the Hyuga clan has tried to reinstate Hinata as a member of the Hyuga clan. When she denied it, the invitation, they called me to the meeting. When you get this, head over to the Hyuga compound. Zamna." When Naruto arrived at the Hyuga compounds, he quickly knocked out the guards and saw the conference room in the compound and decided to wait before going in. He listened in as the meeting was in progress. The Hyuga Council. The Hyuga meeting was in order. The elders were in front of Hinata, hoping to get the former failure, now powerhouse, back into the clan. "Hinata, it's wonderful to have you back in Konoha and back with your clan," one elder said as he used a fake smile which made Hinata angry. "You really think I want to come back to this disgusting village?" she asked with so much anger it felt like venom was dripping out of her mouth. "Hinata, this is not by choice, this is mandatory. You will come back to Konoha and come to the Hyuga for the good of the clan." Hayashi said, but the minute he finished that sentence he was pinned to the ground by Hinata with her lavender gunblade at his neck. "You listen to me, you son of a bitch. I am with Naruto and I am a ninja of Twilight now. If you come at me like that again, I swear I am going to slice your damn throat in half and make you swallow it. Do I make myself clear?" she said in a dangerous voice as she was about to make blood trickle on his neck. Naruto hurriedly right next to her. "Hinata, stop, he's not worth it," Naruto said as she lowered her blade and put on her hip and walked away as Hayashi started to get up. "Hey, we're not done yet," he yelled as Hinata turned to him. "Yeah, well, I am done with you," she yelled as she left the room, with the rest of the organization and a smirking Naruto. Back at the hotel. "The nerve of those old bastards," Hinata yelled as she woke up and looked at the clock and it said 1:00 a.m. "Don't worry, Hinata, they want trianthing as long as you're with me," he said as he looked at her and noticed he lust-filled eyes. He quickly noticed that everybody else was asleep. He looked at her with a mischievous look on his face. "Oh, I see what you want," Naruto said as he quickly put up silencing seals on the doors and windows as Hinata grabbed him and pushed him on the bed. The rest of the night was filled with a room filled with intense screams of pleasure. Now that that is out of the way, let's the new chapter begin. Sunrise. Naruto woke up to see his beloved Hinata sleeping in his bed. Naruto raised an eyebrow until he remembered what happened last night. He grinned like a Cheshire cat as he recalled all the moans and screams from last night. He was just glad to have put up the silencing seals so no one heard them. Quickly he got out of bed, put his clothes on, which consisted of a pair of ambu-style paints, black fingerless gloves, a gray t-shirt and black combat boots. He then put on his cape that read Hakume's Blazing Storm, and with that he left the hotel. As he was walking down the stairs and exiting the building, he encountered that last person he wanted to see right now, Council Member Danzo. "What do you want, Danzo?" Naruto asked with a growl as Danzo just stared at him before saying, "You don't belong in Hakume, you belong in Konoha, where you was born at. Your birthplace, not that damn Twilight village," Danzo said with anger in his voice. Naruto retorted angrily, "Listen, you scum, I already told you and those other bastards on the council I am not coming back to Konoha. Hakume is my home now," Naruto said with conviction in his voice as Danzo ki raised a little. "You must and will come back to Konoha. You do not belong with those bastards in Twilight," Danzo exclaimed before he felt an enormous ki coming from Naruto. Said Blonde was now looking at Danzo with his Kaminarigan activated. "Now you listen here, you little worm, those bastards, as you say in Twilight, have shown so much more care in Hakume than here in this dump, so I advise you to watch your mouth from now on before I rip your tongue out and pay a gay guy to shove it up narrow ass," Naruto said as he walked past Danzo, not wanting to go over the edge and kill this waste of scum. Naruto was walking away from that area to avoid having to confront Danzo again. "I am not worried about the girls, I know they can take well care of themselves," Naruto said as he had faith in them in case Danzo tried anything funny. He was about to head over to Ikaraku's, but a pair of ambu stopped. "Namikaze-sama, Lord Hawkage wishes for your presence in his office," one of the ambu stated as Naruto raised an eyebrow. "What does Minato want now?" Naruto thought as he pushed past the ambus and with his Hurricane Jutsu he teleported to in front of the Hawkage office. "What do you want now, Minato?" Naruto asked until he noticed that not only Minato was in the room but also was Kushina, Naruko, Tsunade, and the village elders were in the office. "What is this about?" Naruto asked as Minato got up and walked until he was in front of the desk. He then began his speech. "Naruto, please just come home. We all want you home in Konoha where you belong," Minato said as he moved forward toward Naruto to at least try and get a hug from the man that was now his son before Naruto just shook his head before speaking. "Minato, you know I can't return to Konoha. This village holds way too many bad memories for me, all the beating, all the assassination attempts on my life. It's just too much to bear, Minato," Naruto said as Minato held his head down in shame at his village. In truth, he wasn't like the rest of those bastards on the council. He actually wanted a relationship with his son. "I don't understand why you do not wish to return, Naruto. You are heir to the most powerful clans in the Hidden Leaf Village, possible the most powerful clans in all of the elemental. You return to Konoha, you will get the respect you always craved as a child. You yourself are probably stronger than Minato-san right now with all the training you have received from those summoning and all the sage arts you know just from them. Koharu said as she eyed Naruto with a calculative eye. Naruto only stared back with his blue eyes staring at her with hatred. Hatred at the fact that because of her and these other old bastards on the council, he had a terrible life. He was about to resort until... They were interrupted by a loud explosion. Naruto looked out of the Hokage tower and to his freight he saw the last thing he wanted to see at this point, the Dark Sphere. What a minute, if the Dark Sphere is here then that could only mean that. Oh no. Naruto thought as he rushed out of the Hokage tower through the window and raced towards the orb, Konoha Plaza. Everyone was wondering what this strange orb was. It looked dark and evil. Naruto arrived at the scene with Xemnas in tow as the rest of the Rookie 12 arrived as well as their senseis. Damn it, he's here. Naruto yelled as he looked at the orb in terror as it started to move. Naruto, what are you talking about and what's so terrifying about this thing? Sakura asked like a retard. Well, Pinky, you should know that this sphere means bad news since ever since this sphere upper the damn sky turned gray and clouds started to form. Naruto said as Sakura indeed looked at the sky and saw that the sky was gray with clouds forming. Naruto, what is this thing? Minato asked as Naruto sighed. Remember hearing how I destroyed Sephiroth. One of his slices cut my arm and I was bleeding. That sick bastard Orochimaru found my blood and wanted to have the Namikaze and Uzumaki powers under his control. So he did the most terrible thing in his life. He cloned me with the blood that was left from the battlefield. At that moment the orb deformed and out of that orb appeared an exact clone of Naruto, only he was completely pale. He wore an exact copy of Naruto's clothes, only everything was pale or white colored. His hair color, however, was crimson red. I am FRE. Ooh, you don't know just HW, it feels to be able to move again, Naruto. But since most of you don't know me, allow me to introduce myself. He lifted his head up only a little bit. My name is... He lifted his head up all the way to show the world his face. Namato, Namikaze. And with that he disappeared and reappeared in front of Naruto, only to grab his throat and throw him in the air. Namato jumped in the air and tried to roundhouse kick Naruto in the face, but Naruto quickly blocked it and grabbed his kick and spinned in the air before letting go of his legs and tossing him further away and towards a building. Naruto was still hovering in the air, but Namato quickly jumped out of the building with a Rasengan in his hand. Naruto saw this and evaded the Rasengan while grabbing Namato's other hand and bringing Namato with him. Naruto slammed Namato into the ground head first. Naruto jumped away a few feet as Namato got up out of the debris. You know, Naruto, this is one of the first few times I can actually laugh. It's been so long since we have fought like this. Namato said as Naruto just stared at him with a frown. I don't understand you sometimes. You have all the power you have. You can destroy villages, level mountains, destroy the universe maybe, destroy this Reschid village. He yelled as he let his chakra surge out, knocking away everything near him. Come Naruto, come my brother LETS, destroy this village. LETS, make these fools pay for everything the Vedon to US. He said as he rushed at Naruto. First he jumped into the air and roundhoused Naruto into a building. Namato jumped and landed right on Naruto's abdomen and started stomping into it, breaking a few ribs with the group. Damn it, I am not waiting here no more, Kshin said as she was about to rush in the battle, but Xemnas held his hand out. No, he will be fine, Xemnas said as he stared at the battle. Kshin could only watch as Xemnas had his hand on her shoulder reassuringly, with Naruto. He was feeling the worst of all of Namato's attacks. Being stomped on by your own evil counterpart was not something that you would like to happen. Namato stopped stomping on him and held his hand out as a dark or appeared. This is the end, Faker, he said as he was ready to launch the orb at him until, no, dark style, explosion. He yelled out loud as Namato was blown away from Naruto as he gathered dark chakra and let it explode on his abdomen, leaving a permanent burn mark. Okay, Naruto, now you've done it. My abdomen were my source of power. It's time I ended this. Summoning Jutsu, Rise of the Great Dead Dragon, he yelled as he slammed his hand on the ground and smoke appeared. Out of the smoke, a bone dragon appeared. It didn't even have any flesh, just pure bone and chakra. Naruto saw this and smirked. Now it's time I finished this. Naruto said as he bit his figure and went through hand signs. Dark summoning, rise of the ghost dragon. He said as he slammed his hand on the ground and appeared a portal, and out of the portal appeared Giratina in its origin form. Giratina rise to the sky with Naruto on top. LETS do this NAMATO. LETS do this NIRUTO. They both yelled as they charged at each other, ready to kill one another. Finally, guys, this story is over. If y'all enjoy, then please like, share, and do comments.